There's music back. Okay. Kate McCabe's here early for a change. Isn't that nice? Wolf up! I don't know what I'm listening to. Yay dancing, yay music. You know what? I gave up. I went back to Streamlabs. I haven't paid for it yet, but I'm like, oh my god. It's just, they make it a lot easier, even though apparently they're evil. Even if they're evil, I'm sorry. I'm embracing evil here by going with Streamlabs, but it's just a lot easier. Because you know why? I could dance. I can't dance, but I physically I can. No, forget it. All right, we've got music. Now let's stop it. There we go. Music has stopped. I am here. I really want to do some tech banditry today. My schedule is all over the freaking place, and I got to figure it out because it's driving me crazy in that I have no schedule. But I also really want to get the chat in here. Who have we got to say hi to? JC Slicer, Wolfpup, of course, who's apparently stopped being lazy. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but that sounds like stuff has happened. Lone Mountain Knife Co. Hello, how are you? Kay McCabe, who's there early. Peter Potter Hop at 13. Yo! Hello. Jonathan MLH, how are you, sir? Captain Catherine, Paperclips, Cronenberg 13. Now you're home. Where were you filming or nor Cali? In North Cal, I wish I was filming in North California. I was filming in North Bay, Ontario, eh? Way up in the middle of nowhere, eh? Hail Hewlett. I like the way you start, Nova Stilius. Horrid 7. What is the weirdest, strangest role you have ever played? I did this really odd film called Lucky Day, and I played a very odd character in that. Although there was also another one called Fear and Hell at the Sunset Motel where I got to play a beatnik, and that was fun too. So this yeah, it's definitely some weird stuff. First time chat, what long time viewer, first time chatter. Who we got there? Walmart Canadian. Okay, very good. I guess it's important to get that name out there. Gyro Shrimp. What a great name, Gyro Shrimp, because I like gyro and shrimp. Just makes me hungry thinking about you. Captain Catherine, Walmart Canadian, LOL, love your username, yes. Eva Maferi, hey, David, great to see you. I just woke up from a nap. Well, that's good. I'm glad I could wake you up. Also, 2 years. What? 2 years of... Wolfpup, you've been doing this for 2 years now? Body moving like the end of It's True. That's called dancing, Randy the Magic Man. That's not the death writhing of the graveyard rats. Northern Ontario, indeed. Happy Halloween, belated. Yes, the Nick. We got, that's the idea. Gyro Shrimp. Delicious. Oh, David, I'm on my last days of COVID XD. It hasn't been fun. Even Maferi, I'm so sorry. But as long as it's your last days of COVID, not your last days, then you're doing pretty well. I'm sorry. I've had it a couple times now, and it's just freaking miserable, and I don't want it again. There you go. That's all I can tell you. Let's see what we got going here. As long as you're not dying, Eva Maferi, that's it, exactly. Oh man, COVID sucks. Sorry, yeah, it was. I mean, look, I was very lucky, much more fortunate than many others. I told Fluffy the cat he could stay home today, but he decided to go to school and then maths club, so I think he's not going to make it. Well, wow, I think your job is done, Elizabeth with a Z. If he's chosen to stay to go to school and to math club, I think you've done a wonderful job of driving him into education. Well done, and congratulations to you. Gimpy G. Are we in the chat? Let's see if anyone's in the chat. Let's see what's going on here. I want to get rid of the ad that's playing. Vibe Pup? Hello, Vibe Pup?
Hello?
Hello! I talked so long that my headphones have gone to sleep. That's how much I've been talking. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. What is it a 2-year anniversary of?
Me being in TechBandits.
You've been doing Tech Bandits for 2 freaking years.
Yeah, I haven't missed a single one.
And you haven't learned a single thing, right?
Well, I made 2 of the Mark Rower things. I broke
you're
one
on
of them.
You're on number 2 of that? Fantastic. I'm gonna knock your volume down a little bit. But I think it might be you distorting. Try talking again.
I just turned down the mic a little bit.
I think you're
I
a bit hot, as they would say.
I did the rest of the things,
Oh, fantastic.
and I broke one.
Well, that's good. It's not. Look, it ain't a party if it ain't got broken. What? How did you? First off, what were they? And secondly, how did you break it? But before you say that, let's say hi to Gimpy G. Hello, Gimpy G.
Hello, everyone.
It's just you and me. It's just you, me, and Wolf Pup. Really, I think. Is there anyone else actually watching? Does it matter?
Yeah, we got 36 right now.
36 people with nothing else to do. That is just shameful. What is happening to this planet? Well, welcome. Vipup was just going to tell us about his Mark Rober experiments. What do you got, buddy?
Well, I like that guy.
I broke it because it was this very weird thing where you had to. It was tied up in a loop, and you had to loop it through the other things, and I messed up, so I had to take it out, and it just kind of decided, I don't want to be here anymore, and it broke.
Really? Well, I mean, so now you figure out how to fix it.
Yeah.
Right?
But I did the automatic drawer thing, and it works.
What's the automatic
Kinda.
drawer thing?
It's kind of like,
I gotta look these up. I'm gonna look them up.
Is it pictogram or pictograph?
Okay, wait a second. We got to figure out your mic because you're like, for some reason, it's like you're blowing out. Like it's like, I mean, it's not uncomfortable for me, but I feel it sounds like we're not getting the full effect of your brand new mic.
Tell me when it's better. It might just be because I haven't played around with the settings, so I turned on the volume.
All right, try talking again now.
Hello.
I think that's better. What do you think, Gippy G?
Yeah.
Does it sound better to you?
Yeah, it was getting raspy on the edges.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it was like I'm gonna turn you back up again now because now we can. Okay, try it. Let's hear you again, Vibe Up.
Hello.
Hello.
Ooh, too quiet.
Now it's too quiet. Now he's really quiet. Now he's silent.
Is he saying something?
I don't think so.
No, I'm not. I wasn't talking right there.
That would explain.
Oh, you sound good now, buddy.
Now you sound like a
Alright.
radio. Now you sound like a radio host. Okay, I'm looking up the Mark Rober project. So you can walk me through.
They
some of these.
basically had one thing where it moves around a pen around a piece of paper
Oh, that's cool.
using two motors on like different settings. I'm pretty sure.
Well, like a 3D printer, except with a pen.
No, it doesn't make whatever you want. It's
Right.
just. It's kind of just like it moves in like a 8.
What was the name of the kits again? What was the name of the company that he's got?
Crunch Labs.
Crunch Labs. That's it. That is what the wonderful folks at all of our Tech Bandits, Patreons and all that stuff. That helped. We got you how was 6 months worth of that? I think Crunch Labs. I think it was.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, and then you went and broke it. That sucks. I'm kidding. I think but you're meant to break them, right? You're meant to try stuff, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, that's okay, box subscriptions. I'm looking at the box subscriptions, and then will it show me what kind of boxes we've got? What kind of kits there are?
No, it doesn't tell you what kits they get because there's just a bunch of different ones. I broke the tripwire. That's the one that I broke.
Oh, so there's a disc launcher, and then there's a foam balls for tripwire or domino catapult. That sounds fun.
I didn't got to the domino catapult. I only got to.
Never mind.
Still need to make the. It's like a coin shooter, but with my procrastination, it's gonna be done in a long time.
Well, what do you think the procrastination is? Like, that's curious because I am a big procrastinator as well. What do you think? Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? Is it something that we need to work on? You think? What do you think?
It's something that I definitely need to work on because I will leave stuff till the last second.
Well, that's how. But I would argue, and maybe Lance, you could speak to this, I'm sure too. I feel like I need to wait till the last minute to have that real focus to get stuff done.
Okay, interesting.
You don't?
What if it's something that takes 20 hours and you've only got like 5 left?
That's what I do.
Is that what you're talking?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, good.
Because I feel like there's always a million other things for some reason. Even when I know I've got to get something done, even if I like it, I still find that until I've got a deadline, Well, so okay. Hey, Vipup, should we set a
Oh, true.
deadline? Should we set a deadline?
Deadline. I think I would procrastinate even more then, because
So if I said,
I
Because right.
well, where? So okay. So how long does it take? How long does it take you to make the kits when you actually make the kits, roughly?
because I'm not the smartest. It's normally like 40 minutes.
But that sounds reasonable to me. 40 minutes. Okay, but sometimes you just like I just don't want to do it. I can't be bothered to do it right now. What if you did it
Yeah,
while you were streaming? Like, what if you? Sorry, excuse me, while I yawn in the microphone. What if you like built these things while you were like did a live stream of you building them?
I don't think I would be able to do that.
Oh, really?
I kind of have.
Really?
I last time I did, I had to call my parent because I got very confused.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to be for kids, but I have the mentality of a 3-year-old.
No, you don't.
I don't
You're
think
very
so.
smart.
I think this is the funny thing is I think everyone has different strengths and weaknesses, and I definitely there's some like I tend to I tend to overcomplicate everything. I'll give you a perfect example. So remember I opened the bioluminescent stuff,
Yeah.
the kit box I got. So I went through everything. I did it, and then discovered that I'd read one of them wrong and put the wrong material in one of them.
Oh no.
So so I've got a bunch of them on plates, but I have yet to get any glow out of them at all. So I've probably screwed them up. But that's how you learn, right? I mean, that's like,
Yeah.
you know, it turns out the two things were named very similar things. One of them is an agar, which you're supposed to put in the plates and it dries and it gives you a little. It basically.
The other was called poison agar.
And the other one was a media, which is meant to be like a fluid that you could then suspend it in from there, like that it could grow in the fluid. So I was like, hey, why aren't these?
Ooh, I've heard agar and medium exchanged, haven't you?
Yeah, me too. That's what I mean. So
Yeah.
So this was not an agar media, but it was just a media. And I'm guessing it was just a liquid one. But anyways, I have some more, and I'll try it again. But and I could always bug Josiah to help me out with it. But yeah, I get stuff raw. If it's any consolation, it takes me forever to do things, and I don't do them. I often don't do them well. But the reality is, I get a great sense of accomplishment out of it when I actually do stuff. And you know, I mean, some stuff becomes more. It's hard to I find to choose what's important and what's not important to get done in my day. What do you spend your day doing, Vipup?
Procrastinate.
Ooh.
But like by playing video games and stuff?
Yeah, playing video games and laying down.
Well,
Do you feel guilty?
No.
Like,
well,
ooh, see,
but
I
it
always had that in
sounds
my
like
head.
you feel guilty. It sounds like you're confessing to us. That makes it sound to me like maybe you are feeling a little guilty about it, which you shouldn't, by the way. The whole Mark Rober thing,
Should be.
the reality is either they sit on your desk waiting to be made, or they sit on my desk waiting to be made, and you've already made 2 of them, which is 2 more than I've made. So there you go.
3. I just broke one.
Oh, 3. There you go. And also the breaking of stuff, I feel like here's the thing. I used to find stuff in the garbage and take it apart all the time as a kid. Used to do it all the time. And now as an adult. But as a kid, I did it all the time. And I always felt guilty about it because I was like, I've taken it apart. I can't put it back together again. The reality is taking it apart taught me so much stuff. I just didn't realize I was learning stuff because I was having so much fun pulling things apart and going, oh, what does that do? And, you know, like that kind of stuff. I mean, just because I couldn't put it back together again doesn't mean I'm, you know, like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there are other people who could put it back together and make wonderful things out of it. I was just had a great time taking it apart and figuring out what the things were. And yeah, it was great.
My brother did that too.
Oh, yeah.
And he also used bullets in them a lot.
Oh, really?
You know, the one that went away for a while on vacation?
Yeah. All expense
that
paid
one.
vacation by the government of the correction services?
Yeah,
Yeah.
vacation paid for.
So wait a second, he played with bullets, like literally played with bullets, like
Oh yeah, he would. He cut the handle off of the mop.
yeah,
Put a nail on the end of that,
yeah.
and then put a bullet on the end of that taped up, and he would hurl it like a spear,
Ooh.
and it would go off. You know, when it struck something.
Well, I was much wimpier version of that. I used to do that with the caps. You put the caps on the end of a little rocket, and then you
Okay.
throw the rocket, and then
That
it
makes
hit,
more
land,
sense.
bang. They were great. Yeah.
These were 38 shells, so I don't know why I'm not dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But-
that is some messing
Yeah.
around. Yeah, generally a bad idea to play with bullets. Someone had a great suggestion the other day. They were talking about. They said we should just make bullets really expensive, or I suggested maybe make a lot of paperwork involved. Whenever a bullet is shot, or use, you have to fill out a lot of paperwork and pay.
Yeah, or to get them.
Yeah, so that it just becomes like something that that people don't actually like to use. Oh, I've got stories to tell you. Holy cow, have I got stories to tell you?
I've got so many things I want to say to you too and ask. So you go first.
I'm guessing you want to ask about my weekend. Did you
Your
hear about my?
weekend.
So
I didn't hear.
Okay, let me see if I can pull up. I think I have some photos on. I think it's on Twitter. I'll have to look. Let me show you my Twitter feed because that's
Oh,
really exciting for everyone. Let me see if I've got a thing here. Okay, first off, I don't know how long I'm going to be on Twitter, just so you know, because I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what's going to happen with Twitter. I have no idea what they're going to do. You know what I mean?
yeah. Who knows
I
who's
just
going to be
don't.
on Twitter, right?
I don't know.
Did you read the thing about how the like swear words have went up like 500% now that Elon Musk is there?
Is that true?
Yeah.
No, the N word.
No.
Oh.
Seriously?
I only read swear
Sure.
words.
Well, oh my god, that's awful. Okay, so here's a tweet that I sent out the other day. This was the weekend. The weekend was spent tied up with handcuffs, cable ties, duct tape, and hoods over our heads and our legs bound.
Well, that's fantastic.
And
How much did you have to pay?
And yeah, exactly. And then it wasn't cheap actually, but it was a personal security course, and they taught me how to escape from that, which was pretty neat.
No.
Oh yeah, yeah. So literally, one of our projects was I had my hands duct tape behind my back, and cable ties attached to them. I had my legs. No. Was it handcuffs? Maybe it was handcuffs. I can't remember now. So there's a bunch of them, and then my legs cable tied around a pole, and then they put a hood duct taped to my head, and the idea was you had to figure out how to
awesome.
yeah, and it is, and they taught you all these different things, but the whole point of it though, which I think was the most important thing for me, was they taught you about situational awareness and how to avoid getting in a situation where you're going to get in a fight or you're going to get in trouble. And then these were situations, what they were teaching you was first off how to avoid ever getting into these situations. And secondly, if these situations are forced on you in any way, how to respond. So it's things like if you're in an elevator and someone grabs you, what do you do? So you're in an elevator, someone hits the stop button and then grabs you. What do you do? And I
would yell, "Take the old lady! She's got it coming."
She's got it. She's her
something
wallet.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly. Her wallet's full. But if you're by yourself and someone does this, and again, I felt that this is a course that women should be taking for sure because it's much more likely that that's going to happen to a woman, unfortunately, than it is that it's going to happen to a man. But anyways, they taught you these very non-flamboyant, no fancy, none of this fancy stuff, waving arms around or anything. It's literally just how to get someone to let go of you and then hopefully not be able to chase you once you start running away. And that's
James Gurney asked if you're planning on visiting Atlanta or something. Like, what's the genesis of this?
That's right, because I've decided I'm going to. Yeah, no, there was no genesis of it all. There was a friend of mine was teaching it and was telling me about it, and at first I wanted to be supportive.
Okay.
At first I thought, I'll be supportive and I'll do the course, and then I started reading up about the course. And I was like, this is actually kind of cool, and it's very hard to define what it is, but apparently it's called personal security or evasion tactics. So the idea is just basically to give you some simple skills to get yourself out of a situation if you're in a horrible situation, and how to prep for them if necessary. Did
he teach you how to dislocate your thumbs?
Oh God, no. Although I think there are other courses, so I'm sure we could get to dislocating of thumbs. But again, a lot of it was just very basic stuff, like using the usual, using people's weight against them. Like if someone is, if you flip, someone runs at you, you throw them into a wall based on their own force of motion and stuff. Just things like that.
Judo.
It was
you
really
can go
cool.
Judo.
Well, but even judo is like there's more, like there's an art to judo. This is very messy. This is just like you basically looking for any opportunity to do as much damage. Also, the other thing that I thought was interesting was the mindset, right? So he says they were talking about this. They were saying that your mindset of like, what do you when you're being attacked by someone, when you truly find yourself in a situation where there's no way out and someone is attacking you, you have to assume that their end goal is to either really hurt you or kill you. So you need to respond accordingly. Like you want to avoid violence at all costs. You want to do everything you possibly can to avoid a violent confrontation. But once you're in a violent confrontation, you have to be 100% in.
Dedicated to being violent then, right?
You can't be like, oh, I'm so sorry I got you. Did I get you in the eye? I'm so sorry. Like, I mean, it's like, no, you've got to be like this. You have to assume that you're in trouble at this point. And when you choose to actually respond, because you're forced to, you have to, when violence is the only solution, it is the only solution, right? You know what I mean? Like that's
right.
The point.
No, yeah. And I'm assuming you got to come off as super hyper aggressive too, like animal.
Well, it's funny because they didn't go into any of that stuff. There was a few. Well, there was a few things that I thought were neat. Things like when you're at an ATM, you're going to get money. You are a soft target at that point, right? You are not only distracted by the machine, but you are going to a machine to take money. So he says, if someone comes up to line up behind me at a teller, he says, I completely ignore the machine. I turn around, I look at the person behind me, I suss them out, make sure that they don't seem like a threat to me, and then I turn around back to the machine and I continue my stuff. He says 9 out of 10 times those people will leave.
Oh,
because they're like, this guy.
You should donkey kick.
This guy's
like
a
this
freak.
chick behind you.
Donkey. No, that's the whole point. Is you don't want to. There's no violence.
Yeah. You don't want to initiate violence.
Yeah.
You're just prepared for violence.
Yes, people get grabbed and stuff, and they just freeze because they don't know what to do. But if you shout at people and make a big deal about it, lots of times they freak out. Yes, because what you're doing, as they say, is forcing them to suddenly. They then go into the same mode as you, going like, "How do I solve this problem?"
Right,
You know
defense.
what I mean?
Right.
But the biggest thing, and I think this was the thing that scares me the most, is the situational awareness. So in other words, his story, which I thought was great, he had one story where he said where he's like walking down the street and he sees this guy with a phone, and the guy's on his phone, he's, the usual phone stuff. And he's sort of like sort of almost bumping into people. People are like getting ticked off and moving out of his way. And then a thief comes running in, grabs his phone and takes off. And it took him like half a block before the guy who's had his phone stolen realized his phone was stolen. Like he's like, what the hell?
Oh, goodness.
What happened? Like, where did my phone go? It was there and now it's not there. So he's looking around. Did he run that way? Did he run this way? And he says it's just so easy to just be aware of when you are a soft target. And just the fact that you're looking around and being aware of what's going on in the world around you is enough to scare off a lot of attackers, because they go like, okay, this guy, this woman or this man or whoever is very aware of what's going on. I feel like it would be a risk to attack this person or steal from them. So
in that particular situation, though, you don't want to chase for your phone, right? You just let it go.
We didn't really get into that. No, my hunch is probably, again, you avoid if it's who cares? Like, who cares at that point? Who cares? Like, but
yeah, if it's stuff, you just let it go. If it's your baby, you flip a coin, something like that.
Flip a coin, exactly. I mean, Vibe Pup, have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you needed skills to get out of them?
No, I actually don't think I've ever got lost or anything like that.
Oh, really? I mean,
yeah,
maybe not.
But I think that's for the best, though.
That's great. No, that means that look, that again, it means that you didn't wander off without sort of like looking around where you were, where parents were and stuff. I just think these are great skills to have. I mean, I think, again, as I say, unfortunately, with the world we live in, women are probably more at risk for this kind of stuff. It's more likely that they are going to find themselves in an elevator with some guy breathing on them than I am. Certainly, yes. Certainly now. But I mean, maybe as a younger person, you have those risks as well.
Yeah.
I mean, but just knowing what to do. I think someone here said that one of the things you're taught to do, which I think is really smart, is make a huge freaking noise. Make as much noise as possible. And, you know, if someone says, just be quiet.
My dad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Um, my dad told me, like, and I know this is all true because a police officer came and visited our house
Mm.
just to admire dad, like way into my 20s. But, anyways, dad said he'd been in, I don't know, maybe 100 fights. And he never got in a single fight after he stopped going to the bar after midnight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
keeping yourself in good places where these things don't occur is good.
That's what these guys were saying. Was basically like, if you want to have a fight, go to a dance club after, go to a late night dance club.
Yeah.
Like, it's just gonna happen. You're gonna have some idiot who's messed up on something and is gonna want to take a swing or whatever. But and again, they're not preaching paranoia. They're not saying don't leave the house. They're just saying be sensible and be aware of where you are. If you are in a dance club, then don't leave yourself open to to attacks and stuff. Again, not blaming the victim, because there's always going to be situations where you cannot avoid it, right? I remember one time on my motorcycle, I pulled up behind a car, and it stopped for kind of a long time, and there was some kind of a mess, something going up ahead, and it was a man and a woman having a fight, and they were like, I mean, having a fight,
Ooh.
like a full on punching each other, and this guy, being a much larger man, got the advantage and started beating her horribly.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, so I sort of leapt off the bike and sort of went, hey, 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 kind of thing. Useless. And the guy turned around and slugged me in the head, except I was wearing my helmet. So he broke.
Oh, well, that's real smart.
He
Okay.
broke his hand. I guarantee you his hand was broken. Guarantee you. And I was just a bit like, whoa, what was that? No one had called the police. No one had. It was bizarre. So I found myself sort of going like, "You call the police. You this." And are you okay, ma'am? Type thing. And but of course, before the police shows up, she'd taken off. And I was told by someone it was just an altercation between a prostitute and I was like, I don't care. I'd rather break that up than not. What am I gonna do? Ignore it?
Yeah.
The guy in front of me in the car in front of me literally backed up and went around them and drove off. I'm like, what?
Oh.
Is someone getting beaten? Like, anyways, I was young. Now I would probably be that person who backs up and drives away. But I was young.
No. You'd call someone.
Thought I could handle it. But
you'd put down your Grey Poupon. You'd roll down the window.
That's it.
You there.
I say, you, sir.
You there. Stop.
I say, please stop this violence. It's offending my lunch. I think the thing that gets me about it was that I talked to a policeman about it afterwards, actually, because I thought, I better stay. I've been on the scene of a crime. I can't leave, otherwise that's against the law. So I stood around there like, what are you still doing here? Like I literally had there was a mark on my helmet where he'd hit me, the policeman said, if I give you some advice, he said, in the future, stay out of any argument in a couple. He says that more people get shot or injured stepping into domestic arguments or whatever.
Even the woman could, let's say you start fighting with the man.
And then she goes, oh my God.
You start to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband. And then she shoots you.
And apparently that
starts kicking you too.
That's exactly what they said. They said, you turn around to get the guy off her, and she goes, what, leave him alone, and gets you in the back with whatever.
Yep.
No, so there's there's a whole bunch of complicated stuff there. Again, avoidance. Don't step. I mean, in a weird way, I shouldn't have stepped into it. I should have just called the police. But you sort of want to be more useful than that. But I think there's the interesting point that they made in this one of the many interesting points. I think it's a fantastic. They're called True North Tradecraft, and I think it's Delta to Alpha. I think is one of the teachers there as well. One of the teams was it True North Tradecraft and Delta to Alpha. Yeah, and they do a bunch of these courses, including they've got one that I really want to convince my wife to let me pay way too much money to do, which is a covert entry class. Like you literally you learn how to pick
Nancy
locks.
Pelosi thing.
You learn how to pick locks.
Oh, you want to get in?
Oh, it's
sorry.
all. I don't know why you would need these skills other than but except that I've always wanted to be able to pick a lock. I just feel like that.
No, it's fascinating. Isn't there a symposium, the Southwest?
Oh yeah,
something?
There's a bunch of lock picking. Lock picking is huge.
Yeah,
this is a general thing. Like it's handcuffs, it's lock picks, it's Yeah, I mean it's some pretty intense stuff by the sound of it. But I could
What about home invasion? Was there something on that or?
no, again, it would if there was a home invasion. The situation would be if someone came in and attacked you in your home and you were right there, then there were there were solutions to that but just purely from a physical close contact kind of a situation. Their point every time was like if there's a window to jump out the window. I mean, like, avoid the conflict. The other thing that I
Oh,
thought was
really?
interesting was the stance, the defensive stance, right? If someone comes at you on the street and you go like this, when they're reviewing the footage from the CCT camera or the video that their friend took or whatever, you now look like it's gone from you being attacked to you being in a fight, right?
Okay, because I have you paused, so I assume you threw your legs up in the air.
I did exactly and ran away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like if you've got fists up, you're in a fight. If you hold your hands up,
Okay. Okay.
you're much more dexterous. You've got much more possibilities of what to do.
Yeah, kind of sideways.
And
Keep those elbows down around your kidneys.
this is much more. The hands up is a much more defensive posture as well.
Yeah.
So just little things like that. I mean, again, they weren't offering legal advice, and neither am I.
No.
And none of these things is stuff that a trained professional needs to teach you. This, not me, by the way. You should think about it as the course. Thank you for your follow.
Did they put a plastic bag on your head?
They put not a plastic bag. No, they did point out that it was not a plastic bag. Yes, but they duct taped it around my neck.
Like that. I keep seeing those, and I think, especially when they show the guy gulping for air and the plastic's in his mouth, why not just chomp down?
I don't understand why they don't bite
through the
through
plastic.
it. Yeah, I don't. I've always wondered that too.
I think you could. I really do.
I can get through a freaking mouth guard. So at night, so I'm sure I could get through a plastic bag.
Oh my God, like a rat.
Like a rat. It's true. Vibe Pup. What other interesting things do you have to tell us? What are the new games? Tell us what word on the life of a teenager is.
A teenager. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's only a few things that have really happened, and that is I've been playing Overwatch.
Ah, the new Overwatch, which I've got to say is very pretty. Yeah, it looks good. I haven't played it yet.
I played Overwatch, and I've played.
Have you played on the Toronto map?
Yeah.
I love that it has a Toronto map now.
The games I've been playing is Overwatch and Pokemon games.
Oh really? Which Pokemon? Like on the Switch or on the on the phone?
Computer.
Really? What Pokemon games?
I found one that is like, I know it's not fake. It's because it's like on Twitch. Like if I wanted to, I could stream it.
Mm.
It's called Wilds, and it's basically a fan-made open world Pokemon game where you go collect them. And
oh, wow, wait a sec. And Nintendo allows that? I thought Nintendo were notoriously bad about shutting that stuff down.
I don't know. They haven't got it down. It's been more than a year, and it's a pretty big.
Wild. I'm looking it up right now.
There's another one on Steam. It's not called Poke anything, but it's Pokemon for sure. And you can make your animals work together and do fights. Like if you have an electrical and a water, you do a water attack, then electrical. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was gonna ask, are you talking about Pal World, the Pokemon with guns game?
What was the name of that game you had, Trent?
Impossible Creature?
No. That was Pokemon.
We can find a water
that we played, and it kind of ended because it was
Temtem.
Temtem. Tem. Damn, I struck out. Temtem. It's real good.
Temtem. All right. So we've got Temtem, and I'm looking at this one. They have guns?
It's called Pal World, is the one that they have guns. Wilds is basically an open world map Pokemon game where you capture different Pokemon that can do different stuff. So like if you caught a Cleaver, which I don't think is in the game.
Is this the Lib GDX game? Is it? Do you have to like sideload it or something? I mean, do you have to do something weird to get it on your computer or something, or is it Steam?
It's not Steam. You just install it straight from them.
Really?
Ooh. Sounds safe.
Sus. Sounds really sus, man. But
it's off it's off of what's it called? The thing where everybody puts up
It's a
stuff.
fan. Oh, it's on GitHub.
Yeah, GitHub.
Yeah. It's a fan-made Pokemon Gen 2 game engine built using libGDX. Uses procedural generation to create large worlds with different biomes with their own
so it's random.
unique monsters. Ooh. The levels of wild monsters increase the further you
Meh.
explore, meaning that some biomes with rare monsters are difficult to get to. Your monsters can help you explore the world by usual means, cut, fly, surf, etc. But there are also be new HMs. What's an HM?
Hard modes?
Hard modes, that
No.
that allow you to interact with the world in new ways, like building structures, houses.
No, something machines
Hidden
in
machine.
Pokemon, right?
It means hidden
Yeah.
machine.
Hidden machines? Okay, the jumping up ledges, starting fires, and more. That sounds pretty neat. I'm amazed that they have got away with it this far. I'm afraid that if it gets too popular, they're gonna take it down because Nintendo is terrible about that.
They got a huge
Jack
spike
played
the other
Tintin.
day.
Oh, why? Let me guess. Moist Critical?
No,
Oh, was it? Oh.
No, I don't think no.
Why'd they get that
He
big
plays
spike?
more like big
they
games.
got a spike. It's because another YouTuber like showed off the game, so everybody got excited.
Who was it? Which other streamer?
Point Crow.
What's it called?
Never heard of him.
Point who?
Point Crow. Just point and then
Crow,
CRO.
I think call. Yeah.
I guess so. He's got a Twitch channel. Look at that. Point
How many
Crow.
followers?
Okay. He's got 486,000 followers.
That's a couple.
That is a lot. That is a lot of followers. So, one of the discussions I was having with, we're not having an echo. No, good. One of the things I was talking about with some folks this morning, I had a great time on a podcast called The Salty Nerds. We talked about we talked about a bunch of stuff, but in between times we were talking. Actually, maybe it wasn't with them. Maybe it was with someone else. Anyways, whatever my brain was telling me about the idea of AI animations and AI games and stuff. Like, what do you do when you can type in, like right now, you could type in a little sentence, up comes an image. In some cases, up comes a little short animation that you can do. There's a new one that I've seen.
What if you could type in RPG? Oh, yeah.
What if you type in RPG? What if you say, like, I want to play Doom with Pokemon characters? Or I want to play Overwatch with everyone dressed as anime characters but skinned as animes, in 2 cent or something like that. Or 10 cent. What's it called? 2 cent. What are they called? 2 coins? 2 piece? What's it? 1 piece? 2 piece? What's the name of that?
1 Piece.
It's 1 piece. Is it 1 piece?
It's 1 Piece.
Like the bathing suit, a 1 piece bathing suit? Is that like that's the?
Oh no, I thought you were
about the anime.
I thought you were talking about the anime.
I am. Yeah. I am talking about the anime.
Yeah,
That's
One
right.
Piece.
But I'm saying
Monkey D. Luffy.
So
Woohoo.
what do you do when an AI writes a game for you that's in the style of One Piece? And then what do you do? There was a neat one I heard the other day on one of my marketing podcasts that said, what if you had a website that you went to listen to music, and the music was all generated by AI based on your whatever you typed in. And then if you liked the song, you could buy it, and it would automatically mint it as an NFT, and then you would own that song because it was based on your recommendation, whatever you typed in to make it happen. And then you would get a residual on any time that song was played. Isn't that neat?
Okay.
Think that.
Do you think that's how that? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't think that would be able to exist. It's because how they get vocals and stuff. Like I'd understand it for like beats and stuff.
But the AI is doing that. Like AI is. So there was I got to find this thing because there was an interview that we listened to, and it was an interview between Joe Rogan and what's his name? Steve Jobs. And it's all done by AI. AI had created both of the characters and did a back and forth, and it was uncanny. Steve Jobs.
I also want to say that I am showing the game that I was talking about. I'm just generating a world real quick.
See, that's what I was wondering. Do
What is
you
the guy's
think,
name?
David,
Rogan?
since
Joe
it's
Rogan.
all Joe Rogan. Yeah. Do you think that Pokemon game is sliding by because it's all being generated by the game and not pre-established character? Do you know what I'm saying? It's being done mechanically rather than human intervention.
All right, so let's see if I can find the link. The voice synthesis company based in Dubai.
That's a rat queen, mister. Somebody said that Rat King show gave him nightmares. That's a queen.
I am the Rat King. Between Joe Rogan and CJ using a realistic voice. So basically what I'm saying, Bipop, is that we're now capable of, like, you could probably get an AI to make Steve Jobs sing a song even though he's dead, right? Or you could say, okay, I've heard enough of David talking on various different podcasts and stuff. Let's put all that all into an AI machine learning system and have it spit out a song based on what it's heard me say in the past. It'd be a nonsense.
That would be awesome.
But isn't that neat? So there's no copyright issues, except then I would say, like, but what if you say, like, okay, I want it in the style of the Smashing Pumpkins. Smashing Pumpkins!
See, there you go.
Who I went to see the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. How was that?
It was great. I am not a big fan of leaving the house at the best of times, but when I do leave the house,
it's a shut-in thing. Yeah,
it's fun. It really is fun. And we that Our Lady Peace opened up. They were I didn't realize how many of their songs I knew and liked, but they did an amazing opening act. And then I feel bad I didn't see the first opening act band, which was
now. Did you keep in the ear? Okay. Did you use ear protection? Did you kick out your hearing aids?
I did not bring my hearing aids, and I did not wear ear protection. No, and I'll tell you, when we got home, our ears were ringing. I had the sound in my ears for sure.
Dude, all the children know better than that.
Do the kids wear?
Like, yeah,
really?
For like 10 years, every concert he goes to, he wears ear protection.
But how can you listen to the music if it's all muffled?
It lets it through. They're not jamming socks in their ears, bro. There's like some really good
Are there special
materials.
Really?
Yeah, that they let through all the different frequencies, but they modulate how much pressure. I think it's a lot bass that's doing the damage.
That makes it. Well, the bass, I could feel the bass in my chest. Like I could.
Which is fine. You just don't want that vibrating your eardrum.
Well, I'm sure it was. If it's hitting my chest, I'm sure it's hitting my. Anyways, I mean, like I was a drummer, so I think my damage is pretty much done. But
you were a drummer.
It's too late for me. But yeah, I
guess. Did you do the foot thing too?
The foot thing?
Like thunk, 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 and then bam, bam, bam with your hands.
Yeah, with that. Yeah, it was the
drummer.
Yeah, I did the bass. Yeah, I had the kick drums and the yeah. Sometimes I had two kick drums. Sometimes.
Dude, don't take offense. I didn't see you being that coordinated.
No,
this is fantastic.
I was. You know what it was? It was that hyper focus thing, right? Like I would drum. I would come home and drum for hours and hours and hours and hours until my dad basically came down and said, "You've got to stop." So I got actually not bad at it. Not the problem with drumming is that there's like a drummer, and then there's like a real drummer. And a real drummer, it's like the difference between like someone who can drive well on the road and someone who can drive in a in an IndyCar race. You know what I mean? Like it's they're worlds apart. They seem exactly the same, but it's absolutely worlds apart. And that was
but how long did you get to do it?
Drumming? Oh, I drummed from about probably around 14 to probably 20, around there. I probably stopped around when I was 20 when I realized I was not going to be Neil Peart from Rush.
I think with your like outgoingness and your acting, and I think you would sing. I think you could have been Phil Collins, and your dad ruined it.
I really wanted to be. Well, that's what I wanted to do. Like, but at the time, Phil Collins was the only guy who drummed and sang.
Right.
And weirdly, in the band we were in, I actually did a song on my own, which was awful. But yeah, it was it was this terrible. We were in this terrible band. We had one gig, and we played at at a place called the Cameron House here, which was just hilarious. Had a giant ant on the side of the building, and they were going to pay us in beer until we showed up, and he realized we were all like 14 years old. He's like, we can't pay you in beer.
Oh, give me the
We're
beer.
like, this is a ripoff. They made a fortune because all of our 14-year-old friends bought beer, but that's beside the point. I do not still drum. No, actually, what I love now is GarageBand. I love GarageBand because you can make your own beats and stuff. Actually,
I
you
so
would love
badly want to
GarageBand.
hear you drum.
Oh, I would suck now. I can't even move
No,
my
see, I
shoulders.
wanna see
Thanks
it.
to the Rats movie, I can't move my shoulders anymore.
Eh,
Let me find a
What'd they
link for this
say?
thing. Fictional podcast interview. Let me just see if I can put it in. If it's here, is this it?
okay, serious time. You ready for this?
All right, here you go. Go for it.
I was so absolutely proud of you, dude.
Of what?
It's like,
In
okay,
what?
I
What-
knew
doing
you
what?
were an
What have I
actor,
done?
right? Well, I knew you were an actor, but it's like being
knew you
around
were a
somebody who's your
liar.
friend.
Yep.
Nope, it's like being around somebody who's your friend. They say, "Yeah, I'm kind of athletic,"
Right.
and then you see him go throw 5 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. You were so good in that Cabinet of Curiosity.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely wonderful, dude.
Vincenzo makes it pretty easy. I mean, he's a pretty
Yeah.
talented filmmaker. That guy. I mean, holy cow.
He really is. I loved
And he
how
wrote
he
it.
would
He wrote it too.
the way the camera moves
Oh yeah.
between people who are talking. Like even in the morgue, if you watch it, it goes back and forth. It's just amazing.
I'm sorry. I
But
missed
you were doing
I
some
realize
serious dialogue.
I've missed Jack Jasrud here. I'm so sorry. Hello, Jack Jasrud. Sorry, buddy.
No, yeah, he's there. Hey, bud.
Well, thank you. That's. I mean, I would love to take credit, but it's a fantastic role, and it was beautifully written, and I think absolutely exceptionally directed and finished by.
But it definitely had Deadwood dialogue, though. I mean,
It had some
you
Deadwood.
were,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
So you were kicking out big words at a rapid pace
Big
and not
words. It's true.
mumbling or
Yeah.
anything. It was fantastic.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Have you watched any of the other ones?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that funny? I felt the same way. I was like, I've got to one now that I really like called The Outside. Have you seen The Outside?
Okay, I'm going to be mean, but that one about the skin cream,
You didn't like that? Oh,
I didn't care at all.
Really? Oh my God, I loved her.
Why did she kill her husband?
That's so. I'm not sure.
No, I started. Yeah,
Because he was the annoying guy
wanted
from
her-
Silicon Valley. Was that what it was? He's so good though.
yeah.
Well, she has to kill someone.
don't
It's a
know.
horror thing. It's so funny because that
Well,
one I really liked. The other ones
Why not kill all those ladies? I hated them.
I know, but instead she joined them. That's the horror, right? She killed. That's
yeah.
the horror. She killed the
That's
one
your
person.
second vector of horror.
That's it. 2 vectors of horror. I feel
You
like
must have 2.
I feel like that's the horror, isn't it? That she chose the attention of these horrible, monstrous women over the one man who saw her for what she was. This, beautiful, wonderful, extraordinary, unique woman, right?
I don't know if you can answer this for me.
Hmm.
Maybe you could ask them, but when he was telling her that she was awesome and all the things he liked about her,
Hmm.
and she said, "You're not supporting me."
Yeah.
Was this and then she said, what was it? Oh yeah, he said, "Yeah, I don't want you to change."
Hmm.
But he was saying that not so that she was stagnant, but that way she'd stop using the cream.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I hope it was written in that manner and that not in the manner of look at this man trying to keep his woman down.
No,
So therefore she stabs him in the head.
the sense I got again was that he was, because he said like, I like you, I like the way you are, or she had this whole list and he said, and you're beautiful. And she said, you see, it's always about the way you look.
That's what's wrong with you.
And I think,
No, she said that's what's wrong with you. You don't see me or something like that.
and I feel like that was the horror. The horror was the horror for the audience was not just seeing her go through this. It was seeing her make all these terrible decisions. Like, why would she choose? To me, the best horror is about people making bad decisions. And you know that they've made a bad decision. Like with Masson in The Graveyard Rats in my episode, he just keeps making decisions that he shouldn't do what he's done. You know what I mean?
Dude, he was so brave. The only thing he was chicken of was the the shark, loan shark guy.
Yeah. What's his name? Hans Overfist. Fantastic name. Yeah.
Hans Ovalfist.
His name
That's
is the
fantastic.
character's name is Hans Overfist, which I thought was a kind of a wonderful thing. Have you watched The Peripheral
Yeah, I
at all
like it.
either? That's another Vincenzo thing.
Ooh, I like that's Vincenzo.
I'm really enjoying that.
Oh my God, I really like it.
Yeah, he directed the first 2 episodes. I don't know if he's directed any more after that, but I know he directed the first 2
Okay,
episodes.
that's all I'm on is
And
1 and 2.
yeah,
So
and to
that's
be honest,
great.
my favorite episodes so far are 1 and 2. So yeah.
I want to talk to him because I have some ideas. I know he gets it all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure he's never heard it. People come up with ideas for him.
Yeah, but all I do is sit and think. It's
You know
got to
what's-
have some kind of quality.
You know what's funny is you should say that because I just sent him. I read this story that I loved, and I've just sent it to him and said you gotta make a movie out of this. Like, this is amazing.
Did you see me contacting James Gunn for you guys?
Oh, did you? No, I didn't. How did you do that?
I just keep. Well, I mean, the same way anybody does. I go to his socials and tell him that. Oh,
pester the crap out of him.
I got a favor for you. I'm doing you a favor. I know you took over DC. If you had Hewlett and Vincenzo, they were lifelong friends. They could take an obscure DC character and make them awesome. That kind of stuff. Give
that
them
would
a project.
I can't wait. Well, please continue to do your agenting for me. That would be amazing. What
Did you
Vibe
see?
any stuff coming up that's got
I'm
you
so sorry.
got you interested? Not at all. No. I'm just including Wolf Pup as well now.
No, I was thinking. Yeah.
I can't think of anything that is really coming up, except that I want to get the new Modern Warfare 2 game. That's really it.
So again, still games. Games is still the winner.
Yeah.
If you want to see an amazing, Lance, feel free to jump in on this one. Have you watched All Quiet on the Western Front yet?
Like a new one?
There's a new one, and it is devastatingly brilliant.
Really?
It is beautiful. If you want to see Vibe Pup, if you want to see an incredible, the sense I get is a realistic and incredibly depressing view of the First World War. It's incredibly violent, though. I just have to warn you and your parents about that.
It was awful.
But this is about trench warfare, and the way they do it is extraordinary. There's this wonderful scene at the very beginning where they basically go from the battlefield to like where you, well, you know what, maybe I shouldn't even tell you, but there's an awesome sequence at the beginning from the battlefield and back home, and the recruiting of new kids and stuff, and it's just, oh God, it just crushes your soul. It's just it's amazing.
Do you know what year the Wright brothers constructed the first airplane? I thought it was like 1908 or something like that.
I don't know. Someone on the chat will know for sure, won't they?
And then we know that by 1914, the start of World War I, they were using them for war.
They were reconnaissance mainly. Weren't they basically doing it for like spying, basically, to start? And then they started dropping the odd...
No, because the Red Baron was from World War I.
Oh,
so they had full-on biplanes and stuff.
They also have one of the scenes in it involves tanks.
1903. Yeah, so in 11 years, they went from a bicycle with wings to full-on warfare with machine guns.
Well, okay, so
mounted to them.
Let's apply that to AI or to robots now, because here's the deal: they're using drones that were only showed up on the scene for us in the last how many years? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah.
The drones have become affordable. They're now being used. The military now, either the military or civilians are using them to blow stuff up in Ukraine right now.
Yeah, I saw paintball gun attached to one, or not paintball. The balls were filled with like pepper spray or something.
Yeah. So I mean, the fact is, it wasn't a matter of should we weaponize them? They're getting weaponized. So how are they going to get used? What about those ones that can go up in the sky and make pretty pictures out of light and stuff like that? Well, imagine if all of those
are still cool.
Had a little explosive charge on them. You know what I mean?
Yikes.
We are in for a future that is that I don't think we're ready for this stuff.
You know what? They're saying that Russia had its biggest battleship in the north of Ukraine,
Hmm.
and they say it was a drone used by
They took
the
it out.
Ukrainians that actually brought it down.
But this is it. I mean,
Just one drone. They
look what are they called? IEDs? The little something explosives that they had in
improvised explosive device. Or
yeah, is
something.
that it? IEDs? Is that it? Like look at those things. I
Yeah.
mean, they're they cost they cost like $5, and they're taking out armored vehicles that cost like $1 million. I mean, eventually you could win just on the amount of money you're spending, right? I mean, you could see Russia is struggling to keep the cost of stuff down. I mean, they've moved to these unmanned. They're thinking
Right.
they're thinking they're Iranian, right? Are they saying they're Iranian drones of some sort? I don't know. Look, none of this should be taken as news, please. But I'm
Yeah.
just
We're
going from
just
stuff
this is
that
gossip.
Do you keep track of
This
this
is
at all?
locker
Vibe?
room talk.
Do you and your friends talk about war or any of that kind of stuff, or does it all just the war in video games?
Yeah, war in video games. We don't really talk about real life wars and stuff. Just
What do you think about people using what do you think about getting trained? Like apparently the military is working on how to use those games to train people.
I would not want that to happen. If the military made a game trying to train people, I would not get it. That is not right in my opinion.
But haven't they already? I mean, haven't they been involved in some of the
They
war?
tried to
They
a while
did?
ago.
Yeah. I was seeing this thing. They're apparently they're trying to get more people into flying planes. They want a more diverse group of people flying planes and it's very expensive and difficult to get into for a long time. And one of their key training tools now is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Apparently, that will literally teach you how to fly a plane. It's that good now, right?
Well, aren't the number of G's you can pull a big limitation on humans in an aircraft?
Oh, really?
Like, right? Because if you pull back
Makes
on the
sense.
stick in your face,
Yeah.
like, oh,
Absolutely makes sense. Oh, Wildcard's talking about deepfake tech. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. I should do a few hellos because I realize I've got people subscribing and things and I haven't said a thing. So let me do that. First
Hey.
off, let me say, Nanorm, thank you for your subscription. Wow, almost 2 full years of subs. Wow, you are the best, Nanorm. Thank you. See, it's
That's
It's
awesome.
VibePup. It's VibePup that brought it. 2 years, same thing, right? First time chat. Gabby Auto 87 says hello, and I say hello back. We got another first time chat. Wildcard 1978 says, yeah, that's the deep fakes. Yes, the deep fake stuff. I'm sort of torn on the deep fake stuff because I go like, I think the most dangerous part of deep fakes is that we're gonna stop believing anything, right? Like,
right.
you
Or
can deny
believe
anything.
everything.
You can deny everything. You can also not believe anything. Jason,
Create a reality.
yeah, exactly. Creating a whole new it's there. You just make stuff up. There's an amazing video which I should try to find, and I won't be able to. But there's an amazing video that I saw. VibePup, you'll like this. It was 2 circles on a board, right? This guy's doing this speech, and he says there's 2 circles, right? And they look like around the same size. But he says, okay, one of these circles is larger than the other. So which one's larger? Do you think it's the blue or the red? And everyone would put their hands up if they thought it was the blue, but the red. And they'd say, you at home, you blue or red. And he said, okay, so let me start by saying this. I have just convinced an entire, room full of whatever it was, university students, that one of these circles is larger. And they're not. They're exactly the same size. When you look at them, they're exactly the same size. Your first instinct, without me saying anything, is that these are the same size circles. And yet, by me telling you that they are different sizes, you've assumed that one of them is larger than the other. And he says that's the danger of fake news. And I'm guessing, like deep fakes, that kind of stuff. If just planted the seed of like, well, it could just be made up in someone's head, and all of a sudden, it changes the realities of truth and information, right? Who else do I have to say hi to? James R. Gurney, of course. James R. Dr. Professor Gurney, sir.
Yes.
All right.
No, Professor Wonderful.
Professor
Perfect.
Dr. Professor Perfect.
Professor Perfect.
Dr.
Yes.
Professor Perfect. Yes, exactly. Because you can't forget the doctor part as well, because it's the doctor and professor. I didn't realize they were sort of different, but apparently they are. They're different.
Me either, but some people.
Sam's Angel subscribed. Oh wow! Thank you very much, Sam's Angel.
Oh,
That's very
wow.
nice. What are you
Thank you.
doing? There must be better things to spend money on, but I appreciate it. First time chat from Laura Leatherwood. and they all Laurel Leather. I can't say it. Laurel Leatherwood. That's a hard one. Laurel Leatherwood says LOL. Probably laughing at me, preemptive laughing at me for trying to say their name. What else we got? We've got first time chat from Ace Wolf 28. Hello, Mr. Fuel. Your work as Rodney was phenomenal. I know it was. It's true. Ace Wolfie. Yeah, I agree with you entirely. I'm amazing. Seriously, thank you. I can't. My response is I never know what to say when people do. I get even when Gimpy G tries to say something nice. I can't. I really struggle with it.
Well, it's the surprise coming from me.
But it is true.
It's like, what?
Perfect. You didn't see what I did in the lab today. What did you do? What did you do? James R. Gurney, what did you do in the lab today? He's always doing neat stuff, that guy. In his
I bet he tooted.
His new lab. He farted. James R. Gurney. Dr. James R. Perfect. Yeah. Farted in the lab. That's probably what it was. In the new future, I'm sure I almost flooded it. Check out my Twitter. No, seriously?
Oh, I got to go see
You
this.
broke your new
I
lab?
followed you and have it clicked. I got to see this.
Wait a sec. What am I looking up? Is it just James R. Gurney? Or has he got an actual lab one now?
Do you have a different one?
Do you have a
James?
different one for your lab now? Or is it when James Gurney fixed
I'm
the
sure it's his
Millicue,
regular.
a classic pie in the lab? Oh my God, James, you look rather uncomfortable, I'd have to say. What happened? What the heck? That is too funny. That is not the face of Dr. Professor Perfect, I've got to say. So what did you do?
No, it's usually a smile of knowing, you know.
I
like,
know, and this is
I knew that.
That was a look of like, please don't take my photo right now. I'm not in the mood for this.
Oh my gosh, he didn't want his photo taken?
I know, it looks like he does, yeah.
That's not my Professor Perfect James, Dr.
Wow.
James Icron.
Are they going to take your money away again now?
No.
What is this? I'm curious. Since someone mentioned earlier, I wonder if David went through the process of making the dead body for the episode of Cabinet Curiosity called Autopsy.
Oh, that was fantastic.
That was kind of a neat one, isn't it? That was hit and miss, though. There were bits of it that the beginning part where the guy ran into the guy who looked like a rock star ran into it looked like when he first runs in and throws it in the.
I thought it was a werewolf thing.
Yeah, that looked,
vampire.
Yeah, me too. I thought vampire for sure. It was a neat idea, definitely a neat idea. But I felt like it it had a lot to explain to get to the point where it could then show you how horrible it was, if that makes sense.
I like that F. Murray Abraham dude, though. I could watch him for a while.
Oh,
just listen to him talk.
Oh, I know, he's amazing, isn't he? And also, I really thought the sheriff was great too. The two of them together. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They had a great sort of banter between them. I really like that. Okay, so James R. Gurney has flooded the lab. So what exactly happened? What is the Millicue? I don't even know what the Millicue is. Do you know what the Millicue is? Lance, do you have any idea?
He said it was it's probably some kind of,
I guess
either
it's water,
pure water that would die. You would die if you drank it, or
water related.
It doesn't sound like heavy water. He'd say heavy water. So
is that Cal? Is that Cal doing some smack talk with Dr. Professor Perfect?
Cal's been here like the whole time throwing.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe we just woke her up by accident. How are you, Cal? Have you missed me? I feel like once a week,
dude,
it's not enough for me.
I think it was the third or fourth one.
Oh, which
Sorry,
show? Yeah, it's called The Autopsy. It was called The Autopsy. Oh, by the way, the guy whose course I took has a book. I got it. It's called, that's his name. What was the book called? Negative Space, A Guide to Personal Security. I haven't read it yet, but if it's got any of the kind of stuff that's in the course, it was pretty great. All right. Oh my God, I missed the Cal ear. You can't miss the Cal. The hammer. Never miss the hammer.
Don't do it.
Listen, the episode after you appeared had the Easter egg of you. Did it? What was the episode after me? I don't even know what the I don't know sure what the deal is.
The one after you had
Autopsy, yeah.
The storage spaces? No.
Yeah. It had
which one was the storage?
The storage was lot 36, I think. Again, which is weird because it's kind of the same story as Graveyard Rats, but just told differently. So the first one lot was about another person who sort of like, had paid someone off and got he'd got a storage space when maybe he shouldn't have. And I got a body that maybe I shouldn't have, type thing. So it was sort of very similar to some extent. The mine explosion showed you what? The mine explosion showed me? What do you mean?
I didn't see him.
I didn't see that. I think someone's seeing things.
All of the videos about Cabinet of Curiosity have you on there, though.
They do?
Blood spattered and
They
draggled.
They have. Apparently, it's the #1 streamed show on Netflix.
Isn't that awesome?
Not mine specifically, but I think the
No, it's you.
the
It's all
series
you.
itself. It's so smart. Yeah, that's all they've watched. Yeah, apparently, because Guillermo was sort of like listing off the positions as they went along. It was like, we're number 6, we're number 5, we're number 1. You know, so there you go. You reckon you'll get some more work from it? Probably not.
Oh, definitely.
They'll all think
Definitely.
I'm too expensive. I only work with rat queens now. I only work with queens. That's it.
Only royalty rats. It's
The
true.
last thing I did was I just finished up this Hallmark movie where I'm getting in the way of young romance by just being a jerk.
Boo.
Yeah, exactly. Another evil boss.
My sister makes me watch like 10 of those Christmas ones
Oh, I'm so
at
sorry.
Christmas time.
I am so
God.
sorry. And there's nothing you can do.
Okay.
You can't look away.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, that's awful. They should stop that. Turkey Drop. There you go. Catherine. Yeah, Turkey Drop was kind of fun. That was I think them trying to launch a new series of Thanksgiving movies. And I think Turkey Drop, probably ended that for him. I'm not sure exactly.
And they discovered that a day dedicated to eating to excess and watching football with your pants unzipped
Apparently
really
not.
isn't conducive to romance.
Well, there's this thing I'd never heard of called Turkey Drop, which is apparently when you go back home after your first what is it called? First year at university, for you educated folks. And you go home at Thanksgiving, and that's when you dump your local boyfriend. That's when you dump the guy who's back in town, generally, because you've met someone at university. And it's called the Turkey Drop.
Were you the dumpy or the dumper?
No,
Or
I was the dad,
neither?
of course. I was the inappropriate dad. That's
Oh,
what
you weren't the romantic
I was the
person?
grumpy dad. No. Although,
Typecasting.
there was romance because I thought my wife was having an affair. Yeah. Not that that's romantic, but I mean that I misunderstood. I just acted in a movie. World Builder and Dog just acted in a movie. What do you got? It's called Love's Secret Ingredient, and it will drop on TV One. Oh, there you go. So what are we looking for? World Builder and Dog. What role do you play? Apparently, I was a great
What's
dad in Turkey.
TV One.
I don't know what TV One is. Is that what country is that in? Is that in England? It sounds English, doesn't it? TV One. TV One.
Yeah. Let's say this. TV
tonight.
One.
Tonight on TV One. Oh, it is USA. Oh, never mind. All right, tonight on TV One.
Never heard of it.
TV One in the USA, cable TV. Okay, and what is the role? What is the role that you played? BBC One, please.
Drew Bite. Funny.
BBC One. And now the BBC News. So we're gonna find out what World Builder and Dog played in this role. Was it the World Builder or the dog? Vibe Pup, what are you playing right now? This second, at this moment, what are you playing?
Right
At this
now.
very moment, I am playing Battlefield 2042.
You play what?
Battlefield 2042. I'm just giving it another try just to see if anything's changed, and it seems like nothing has.
Okay. And for some reason, your mic is really loud again.
I still didn't hear it the second time.
Oh, it's
Battlefield
probably just-
2070, 2040,000.
2042.
2042.
Oh.
So you played a successful actor, but it was background but named role. Fantastic! Well, named role. That means you're going on. You're
Nice.
going on IMDb. Congratulations. We'll see you in the IMDb history now. You know what's funny about the Cabinet of Curiosities is there's only 2 people in that who did more than one episode. And they were both people who played either corpses or witches, or they were basically like highly prosthetic piece. But they get the highest casting position because they did more than one episode, right? So when IMDb puts them out, it spits out the first 2 people who've done more than one episode because they're obviously more of a lead than other people. And so I kind of love it for them. Like there's like witch and witch and half a corpse, and they get and there's Kevin Kepi up there as in the list of IMDb, which I just think is kind of cool. So here's the thing I was asking: what's gonna happen when I can come home at night? I got my TV dinner, I got my pop drink, and I sit down and I go and I type in Thor fights McKay with giant lemons on a luxury cruise ship in the style of Star Trek. Born Identity. Of a Born Identity Star Trek episode.
Gotcha.
Maybe 45 minutes. And then click, and then you wait for a second, and you eat a little bit of your TV dinner, and you take a little sip of that sweet drink, and then bloop, and up it comes, and AI has created that for you. What happens to
Would it be boring? Like, you know how like you can use your imagination, but I guess you don't know exactly what's going to happen, do you?
Well, I find Midjourney, and I think you would agree with me on this one. I find it addictive. I could do it.
Surprising.
I could do it all night. That's to be very clear. Midjourney. I'm not
True.
Sting. I'm not Sting. I'm just
All
saying,
night.
all night long. I could be doing AI. And actually, this is an interesting thing. So I've been talking with obviously with Lawrence, and I think we're hoping to do some kind of an AI related podcast. So I'm hoping we're going to be able to discuss a lot of these things, and also how it applies to science fiction and how it's seen in science fiction stuff. But it's really got me thinking right now. Excuse me. You see how fast you're talking about, like planes that went from bicycles with wings to the Red Baron to flying in space. What happens when AI, which is moving much, much faster than that, is able to deliver an Avengers movie with your favorite characters from Doctor Who in it, or from Stargate, or actually that would be cool. And what happens to copyright? And what happens to, like, there's no way they can do copyright smackdowns on every single person who creates a video like that, right?
Yeah, but we don't take your food till 3.
Oh, you gave it to me?
You don't take it till 3.
Okay.
Yeah, don't take it till 3.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
talking about a medicine thing.
I got that sense. I don't think you should take it till 3.
No.
Old Man Poco says, hello all, and we say hello all back. Star Trek and Stargate combo. Exactly. Like okay, so, but this is kind of mind-blowing to me, and it's really got me thinking, because I'm like, this will change. It's not there yet. And everyone goes like, oh, it's not so good. And like your response is a very logical one, where you go like, well, how interesting will it be? Well, if it's as interesting as Midjourney is to me, then it's going to be very interesting. In fact, I would argue it's going to rival movies, if not replace them. If there's enough footage of me on the internet, you can put me in any movie you want. Same thing for any other movie star out there, right?
Do you know how Midjourney puts 4 eyes on things and does other
but that's
weird
just
things?
now, right? I mean,
I'm thinking that you would get that in a show too, right? Like
absolutely
weird byproducts.
Yeah, I'm sure you would, at least to start.
The guy eats the remote
until it gets better, right? And then some of that stuff you go like, oh, some of that stuff that Midjourney comes up with, I go, oh, that's creative. You know what I mean? I go, oh, that's cool. I like the way it's done that. I'm already talking about it like an artist. There's another great suggestion I've heard about some stuff here. One of them is you scan your room, you give it an example of a room you like, and it starts to design your room for you. And so it creates AI fits all the different components in and places them in different places. And then you can go, I like that part, but let's move the mirror to the other side. And I feel like I need like a little jacuzzi in there. And then it goes, okay, and up comes the next image. So all of a sudden, interior design is being done by AI. Because why not? All it is just try to find different pieces to put in a room, right? And what's going to fit, what's not, where's it going to go? Well, AI can figure all that out, right?
Yeah. I can't remember. Does Jane do interior design on the side? I can't remember.
Not professionally. She just does it because she's just talented and has taste.
She likes it.
Yeah. But I mean, so what? And again, I feel like
design.
What was that?
I can do
Who
some
is it?
interior design.
That you could do interior design. It's so true.
Nice.
No, I need interior design.
Oh, do you? Oh, you do. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lord Chunky's got a new pad to hang out in. Are you? Have you got your room settled and stuff? Welcome, by the way.
Yes, thank you. No, nothing's really settled yet. I picked out like a tiny bit of stuff that I
And-
think I want to get, but I haven't bought anything for it yet because
But
I
you've got
don't
the
move in
room.
for another few months.
A
Or
few
couple
Wait,
months.
you
Oh
moved
my
out on
God.
your own, Lord Chunky?
Actually,
Yeah, he's on his own.
like 20 days until we get possession.
Ooh, boy, it's gonna be the longest 20 days. Although that's kind of good though, because then you can get yourself. Have you
They have
measured
plenty
out the
sorted,
room?
yeah.
Have you created a 3D model of it and tried putting things around, moving things around in it?
2D model
Oh yeah.
I've done.
And what did you
in,
use for
like,
that? Just like pen and paper type stuff, or did you do it like a
MS Paint.
MS Paint?
I just did some squares.
That's like so 1970s of you or 1980s
Yeah.
of you. So you
Works
did
pretty
squares
well.
and moved them around.
Mhm.
And what are you thinking? Do you have a theme? Do you have is there like a
I don't know, because like the walls in the room are kind of like black. One is black and one's kind of gray.
They're already black.
Say what?
That's cool. I painted
Yeah.
my wall black because I liked it.
I think I might keep it like that. I do like the look of it.
Yeah, it's something nice.
But the
about
hard
it.
thing is, like, none of the IKEA stuff really matches the color black, which I don't like.
Yeah.
Oh, are you
Except for
making a
white.
streaming room, bud?
Oh yeah,
I
you can
don't
have
know.
yeah.
I think I'll put my computer down in the basement.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why the basement?
Not in your bedroom?
Why the basement? Because then I can be down there and not have my mom annoyed at me for being too loud.
Oh, true.
I
Or be
see.
able to see what you're looking at. What?
Why
what?
not? Why not? Why not just put your room down there?
Put my room.
Yeah,
I would like to, but
take
I'll
over the whole basement,
like
dude.
that.
That's what I did.
I don't know, I'll just make the basement my room, but I'll just sleep upstairs.
Smart. Okay.
I'll do
smart.
everything but sleep
That's
in the
good.
basement.
Okay.
Your house didn't burn down, did it, Lord Chunky? Just-
No, I don't think so.
Not
Not
yet.
yet. at
I'm
least.
with you on this.
Oh, how's it going with that, by the way, Lance? Have you dug out your gaming room yet or anything?
Okay, can I be honest? Being disabled like this sucks so bad. Like, everybody's got priorities of, oh, they need beds and they need toilets. So
Right.
nobody's getting my computers.
Damn it! Can't you just
That's-
like
I want my
hire?
computer.
Can't you hire a local
See,
student
that's
to
what-
come in and just do all that crap?
That's
for
what
you?
I'm asking. I'm asking my sister, can we hire somebody to help us put the rooms back together? Because I really want my computer back
Mm,
so bad. Or set up a computer or whatever.
mm. Damn it! It's too bad
It's
that
tough.
it's too bad that Lord Chunky and I can't just go down and set it.
Yeah,
up.
because I mean,
Right?
like, you don't need anyone that's like an expert or anything. You just need someone to set up random stuff.
Well, that's no, because you can handle the computer stuff, and I can
I can handle the computer.
I can set
like,
the house
desk.
on fire. That's easy.
Uh-huh.
True.
And then we'd have to do like the, what is it, quad stick again?
Yeah, the quad
I don't know
stick
how
stuff.
to do that.
Well,
Quad
but-
stick stuff. Sure,
But I don't think.
a lot of that.
But Lance, you're not really using the quad stick that much, are you?
I don't know where it's at.
You don't even know where it's at.
So
Jesus, right? Of course. I mean, I know you're not using it right now. But
yeah.
was it an integral part of your
no, it wasn't well integrated, but I was working on it to. It's very difficult because you have to figure it out and then get it tuned just like I can move my head left better than right.
Mm,
And let's see, if I move my head back, it falls over.
right?
So I really was tuning that in, and then so
Well,
I'm ready to start over.
God, see, this is one of the other things that I've been talking to people about is I've been talking to Joe Strachey or Joe Strachey at who was one of the producers on C, he's blind. He's
Oh
big
yeah,
into assistive tech and all this kind of stuff, and I was asking him for some advice on documentary stuff, and then I was like, I don't let I just I want to I prefer talking and making stuff and doing stuff, and so I'd rather do that than
thanks. Go for a fluffy dad.
what was that? Oh, go for Flufferdad. Thank you very much. 7 months Fluffernut's been subscribed, and still they're not disappointed enough to leave. Hey, excuse me. There you go. That was a sneeze. Yes, it's true. So
A sneeze?
yeah, that was a sneeze. You don't buy that?
It sounds like you just kind of went. it kind of just sounded like you made random words with your voice. Like you
Well,
kind of.
It's kind of what I
It sounded fake.
did. Did it?
I
that's
thought you made a scientific discovery,
Oh, really?
like Eureka, but different.
Eureka. Yeah. Hey, Fluffy Cat. We're Fluffy the Cat. Fluffy the Cat's here now, too. There's a hype train is just close, apparently. I don't know what that means exactly. Well, thank you very much. Okay. Was knockin'? Bolt Orc or I don't know. L mods. L mods. I don't know what that means. L mods?
I think it means loser mods. So
Because I said something wrong or something?
needs context. It might mean something else.
Oh, you know what it is? It's because I mispronounced their name, and if I pronounced it right, it would have been obscene. I think.
Oh.
I
Oh, yeah, that's a
I
nice
see
name.
it now. Yeah.
I don't think I've worked out exactly what it's supposed to say. Then again, I'm very naive. I don't need anyone.
I've worked it out. I don't think you need to spend any more time on it.
Okay, thank you very much, Lord Chunky. That's very kind of you. Hi, David. Huge fan. Watching Atlantis for the 6th time with my wife at the moment. Really?
Holy smokes.
Moly.
I figured it out.
Have you? I haven't figured it out.
I'm seeing torture, but I definitely see the two first words.
That's it. There's only 3 words
That's
in
the
it.
one.
There's
Okay.
only 3 words in it.
Oh, torture. Oh, I get it. Never mind. I was thinking of lighting things on fire. I'm
If you
so
figure it
dumb.
out,
Al, what are your
David,
thoughts
if
on
you figure it out,
Overwatch 2?
don't say the name out loud.
Yeah,
All right,
Overwatch
David,
2.
don't. I'm not saying it out loud.
Overwatch 2.
I'm just, I'm like a poor naive old man wandering in a world of sickness and, anyways. Overwatch 2. Is that what you're watching? What we were saying? Overwatch?
Yeah, because Cal was saying she was playing Overwatch 2.
Oh my god.
I need to ask
It's pretty
Cal
fun.
this. What is your main?
Who have I been maining? I've been playing a lot of Ana and some Zen.
Wait a sec. Ana is the sniper?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
sniper
Is that
killer.
DPS?
Yeah.
I haven't
Okay.
been able to get into Ana, so I've been trying Reinhardt and Soldier.
What do you mean?
On tank, I've been having a lot of fun with what is it? Sigma. Sigma's been fun.
Which one's Sigma?
Given your built like a tank, of course you want to be a tank.
Now, there's only one tank in Overwatch. The tanks are like pretty powerful now.
There's only
I
one.
thought Winston.
Yeah, what
Isn't
about
he a
Winston?
tank?
Where's the giant ape guy?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's a tank.
He's too
Winston can't
complicated.
put out too much DPS for me, so
But he's good though. Like
he's support
He's kind of
based.
fun. Yeah, he is kind of fun when you know how to work him better. But I just it was too complicated for me. I liked the sniper but I was sucked at it. And I also liked what was the one you were playing the other day?
Junkrat.
That's
You should
it,
be Junkrat.
I like Junkrat. Yeah. Apparently,
Junkrat is
well,
fun.
Cal says that the Overwatch 2 monetization is poop.
I think it works better for them.
What is the
Like I really don't think the loot boxes was doing it for them
Well, they're not
in terms of money.
They were getting in trouble for the loot boxes, right? Because it's a type of gambling or something.
Yeah, sort of a type of gambling. They did give the odds of it though, so it was less gambling because they gave you the exact percentages.
Mercy all day, World Builder and Dog.
But like
Back-
it used to be with the
I
loot
was
boxes, you
confused.
could get a lot of free stuff, but now you have to pretty much buy anything that you want.
Really? And what are you buying
Oh.
exactly? Just skins and the same?
Skins and like emotes and voice lines and that kind of stuff.
Ugh. It just feels like
$20 per skin.
$3
Yeah.
per skin. I guess
What?
that's reasonable.
$20.
No, 20.
30,
Did you
20
say
to 30, depending.
30.
I'm sorry.
Also, it's cheaper to get some of the things in real life than in game.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you.
That's insane. I'm out. I'm not even in. I'm out.
Holy smokes.
That's insane. $40
Oh, yeah.
for a skin. Make it I understand. Make it $1. But $40? That just seems like a money grab
Yeah.
to me.
Well, luckily enough for me, I still have like 7,000 credits left from the old game, which would
Oh.
cost around 60 to $70 now.
So wait a second. So if I go into it with my old account, will I get all that money?
No, because I used to play a lot, so I
Oh.
have a lot saved up.
All right, fine.
So I don't know if you'd have that many.
I'm sure I
Well,
would.
but you would get a carryover. Just we don't know how much.
Yeah,
it
you
is.
would get a carryover, but
Mm.
if you don't have much, you wouldn't get that much of a carryover.
Who could be a bit louder? Yeah, right. Could be a bit louder. What's this? Who needs to be louder? McKay's. Was there someone having issues with volume? I'm immediately
Well,
paranoid.
now that I have Lord Chunky here,
Okay, go for it.
Lord Chunky,
Yeah.
do you think it's bad that, like, that they're kind of getting rid of restrictions on Twitter? Like, do you think rules are good?
On Twitter? I don't know. Like, I don't use Twitter all that much. It does seem interesting. Like, their moderation was already quite
Was there
questionable. They
moderation?
allowed a lot of stuff on there.
I didn't even know there was moderation on
Right.
Twitter. They let Lance get away with everything.
Well,
I don't
it
know.
was just if I abused David. They thought that was funny.
It was whenever
I
you're
think it'll
abusing
be like
me.
abused in a way that'll just end up spreading misinformation and stuff. I don't think it'll end up doing anything good for the platform.
Right.
I just think it's a really bad sign that he came in with such a bad joke to start. I know that's not really what I should gauge it on, but that whole sync thing, I was like, what are you doing? That's like the
Yeah.
worst joke ever.
He's already tweeted at Nancy Pelosi about her husband, and it
Oh
was,
my God, did you see
some
that?
fake news thing about
Yeah.
her.
He posted the QAnon
Husband.
theory that he was there. The new. Look, I don't know anything about this. All I know is what I heard, and what I heard was that QAnon had come up with this theory that the guy who attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband was actually an escort that he'd hired. They'd had a fight.
Yeah.
And then yes,
I've looked into it. It's not true. The place where that was coming from also put out the news that Hillary Clinton died and she's replaced with an exact duplicate to go against Trump in the next election.
Oh my God, that
it's all
reminds me of the
fake.
joke that I came home to. I can't remember the comedian who does it. But
Stephen Wright.
Stephen Wright. I came home today and someone had stolen everything in my apartment and replaced it with an exact duplicate.
Duplicate.
You know what I mean?
Duplicates.
Like that kind of, yeah. Wow, that is crazy stuff. The fact that it's already
He can't do that.
We can.
People, yeah.
Now he can. It's his platform, now,
Right,
right? I mean, he can do whatever. Like, it really makes me wonder whether I'm going to be staying on Twitter. And I've always loved Twitter. Twitter has always been an amazing place. I've met, I think, just about everybody from Twitter. You know?
People keep thinking that rules are restrictions, but let's say you could go to New York and they had no driving rules whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
It would be a hellscape.
Right.
So the driving rules actually make it easier to get through. They get rid of chaos and allow you to move more freely.
Well,
so in some ways, rules can make you more free.
I would almost argue the same way from a creative format as well. When you go like, if you can write anything you want, it's very difficult to come up with an idea. But if you're given guidelines for what you should be writing, well, Twitter itself is a rule. It used to be, I don't know what it is now, but it used to be as long as a text message. That's all you had, and that was the charm of it, right? It was that those limitations forced people to be creative or come up with better ways of doing things. Now people just do 1,000 tweets in a row and call it a tweet storm, whatever the hell it's called. So I still
now you can also post like images and videos and like yeah.
I got a weird thing the other day on an Elon Musk tweet, and it said like, "Oh, new things have been added to this tweet," and it bounced back up to the top of the thing again.
Oh, gross!
You can like edit a tweet and then have it show up again.
Well, it said like, "Oh, new responses have there's been new responses to this tweet," and I was like, "Oh no!" I mean, like, look. Twitter always sucked. As a search engine, Twitter is the worst. You can't find anything. I can never remember where anything is. I find myself scrolling for hours trying to find an old tweet that someone sent that I wanted to follow up on or whatever. I mean, it's extraordinarily bad at that. But there was a certain charm to that. I am very concerned. Not concerned. Concerned's the wrong word. I guess I'll just, I've lived without Twitter before. I'm sure I'll be able to live without Twitter again if I need to.
But do you know how there's like self-fulfilling prophecies? Like the very act of trying to avoid it causes you to do the things that bring it about.
Right.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think you go, okay, it's Wild West, everybody. Then all the advertisers abandon the place because you bring back in like, oh gosh, who is the guy? Alex
Jones? Yeah. The guy.
Yes, you bring him back and everybody drops. So then you start eventually you end up with rules that look exactly like what was there when he took over, because
Yeah.
nobody wants to be in a pit. All those new places that started,
Mm.
those patriot places, nobody goes there. They say they're unmoderated, but you can't say anything anti-Christian.
You
You
can't?
can't say anything anti-Trump,
Is that right?
but you can say the N word all you want. It's so weird.
Is that I don't is that the one? Because he's on. Trump has said I don't want to come to Twitter. I've got my own platform. Is that
It's called Truth Social.
Truth Social? And is it? I mean, I'm sort of curious just to see what the other side is all about. Is it? Can you just get yourself a? Can you just sign up for it? Is it, or do you have to be invited?
Yeah, let's do that. We could go on there and check it out. You can be spies.
Truth Social. Here you go. Okay. It's going to use cookies, and I'm going to accept them. All right, I guess so. It
Of
says
course,
that
you're going to accept cookies.
registration is closed.
Oh, really?
Truth Social will be accepting new web application users soon.
So they actually make sure you're going to be the right kind of person
Is
to
that
be
right?
on there.
I haven't even can I get it on my iPhone? I don't know why I really want to get on this. I'm just other than just to irritate.
No, it's a great idea. It's fascinating.
I feel like I want to see what's going on, right? I mean,
Callie, you're the hammer. Break down that wall.
Break down that wall. I mean, like, I don't want another social platform. I'm just curious to know what's happening with, is it successful? I mean, does it tell you how many people are on it? I mean, do we have any sense of what the...
No, it's almost like it's dedicated to Trump, because he's by far the hugest draw.
Right, of course. I do not have Truth Social.
Yeah.
It is not it is not available for me.
Oh, so is Apple
I guess it's only
not
in the American,
allowing it to be an app?
I guess it's only the American store, I'm guessing. I'm in the Canadian store.
Oh, I forgot you're in a weird foreign country.
It's true. I believe me, I forget too. Damn it. I mean, well, maybe I can go in as a... I don't think I can go in as an America. Wait a second.
Can you go incognito into your... what are you using for a browser?
I use, depending on what I'm looking up, like if I'm looking up health stuff or I'm looking up anything that I'm worried about, it changing my search, I'll use Firefox. I'll use Firefox with the VPN, just because, I mean, I don't want to look up health related stuff and have my, have that show up in an insurance thing or something. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Or I don't want to look up. I don't want to look up things like Truth Social and stuff, and have it track my whereabouts and all those sort of things. So
all of a sudden you get fundraising stuff from
I use a VPN.
Nazis.
Exactly. Yeah. I use a service called ExpressVPN, which I'm okay with. I mean, I find they all slow things down a bit. They always claim they're not going to. But they always they always seem to a bit. Of all of them, though, ExpressVPN's been the best for me.
Well, Chunky, I have a question. Is it possible to migrate things from iPad, or not things, specifically passwords, back to your computer, back and forth?
From iPad to PC?
Yeah, I've been
with a
stuck
password
on
manager.
iPad for a year.
With a password manager,
Yeah.
might be the
Password
best
manager,
way.
you can do it. Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure what the best one is. Like, I use LastPass. At one point, it was pretty good.
I like
But I think
LastPass.
there might be better ones out there. There might be cheaper ones out there. I'm not
Apparently,
sure.
Keeper's good too, and I've tried Keeper, but honestly, they're 6 of 1. I find you have to learn how to use them because they all have their own little foibles. But yeah, LastPass was the one that
Cryptic,
I used.
huh?
But wait a sec. Wait a second.
LastPass.
But what are your passwords kept in? And what are they? No.
They're
Are this in like
they're
Apple
weird.
Keychain?
Yes, that's what I'm on.
Okay.
Right. Well, then that
So
You might have to manually transfer them.
you may have to manually transfer, or can you not just back them up
really?
to iCloud and use them on another device?
But then you only be able to use it on like a Mac or something.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
true.
Oh,
Like, a
no,
lot of mine
does
just
anybody know?
autofill through Gmail, like through Google, which helps.
I don't
See,
use
that's
any
what
of
I was
those.
doing. I went to
Yeah.
Google. I used to do that when I was on the computer, but now I've got a bunch of places I have passwords for that aren't on the computer, and it sucks.
Yeah, then you should. I think you should consider like something like LastPass, because that'll work on an iPad, it'll work on an iPhone, it'll work on a computer. Either it's a Mac or a PC. You can log into it on the web. There's all sorts of different ways into it. I don't know what the best one is. I know that I've got both Keeper and LastPass because I'm trying them both out. I keep every so often I'll try a new app to see if it's any better. Keeper is okay. It's a little slicker in a way, but LastPass is sort of old and clunky, but seems to have the most functionality of them all that I've seen.
It's gotcha. Oh, one last thing for Lord Chunky.
Mhm.
There's a good chance that I know somebody who owns a PC building company.
Oh, really?
Star something Forge.
Starforge?
Starforge.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Yes, and you've heard of the guy who. So I might be getting a 4090 based PC with
Shut the
the
front door.
13. Yeah, with the 13900K CPU. So
What's it,
That's
what do they call
pretty
it?
cool
It's called a
computer.
Star. They're called what?
yeah,
Starforge.
yeah,
All right, Starforge.
64 gigs of DDR5 RAM.
We got to give them some credit. You guys give them some credit if they're going to be giving things away like that. That's freaking awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. This is them here. The best PCs in the universe. Hey, maybe they want to have like a Stargate tie-in. What if it's like maybe they need like a sci-fi spokesman of some sort?
Oh, I will ask them.
Yeah, there you go. I will work for tech.
Will.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. And if David, if you get a new computer, I'll take your old one.
This one? You don't want this old thing.
I'd take that one. That would be fun.
But this is what is it? It's called this is the one with the old, I don't even know what's in it.
I think it's a 6700K and a 980 Ti.
Okay, it's kind of a little scary that you know that. Is it a 980 Ti?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm not sure about the CPU, but I know it's a 980 Ti.
Interesting. Okay. Well, so Wisik, so which is the one you're looking at? Are you looking at the Voyager Creator Elite?
The last one on the list, yes.
And it is. I love going to the last one. Don't you love? Whenever I look at an item to buy when it comes to technology, I always go, okay, let's just scroll right past all the little ones and then get.
That's
straight
right,
to-
all the junk.
That's where I go.
No,
4K video
I told
editing,
him-
content creation. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
because I want to do content creation and game and stream, so that's what I was recommended.
Wow. And they build these custom for you?
Custom, no. They're more like a Dell or Alienware before it got taken over by Dell.
How did you run into these folks?
So like they have like all the consumer
Charlie.
parts.
Charlie owns it.
Charlie owns this place?
Him and another group of streamers called OTK.
Oh my god. You've changed. You're like this. You're like all in with these like streamer people now. Like you're
So
like
it's like a pretty cool idea to have like a bunch of streamers do it, because then you get like free marketing for your brand.
brilliant.
Like,
Right.
Brilliant. Absolutely. It's like Ryan Reynolds starting a marketing company. Like how freaking smart is that?
Yeah.
The guy's out there. The guy's like one of the most famous people on the planet. Start a marketing company. You can market anything. Wow, that's amazing. Well, that's very cool of them to do that. Well done, Starforge. That is some very cool. Here I was thinking we should give them some airtime. Look, it's freaking Moist Critical, for God's sake. Wouldn't be even a blip on his screen.
Moist Critical. I like his videos. I've been watching them more recently.
Oh, have you?
Yep.
And I saw the KPG one too.
I know, that was pretty cool, wasn't it? He did like a.
That was pretty cool.
full-on- Yeah. Have you talked to? So he's going to give you a.
I can't say that's a. Wait. That's confusing. No. I'm just saying hypothetically something like that might
potentially
happen.
something like that could happen. I see. All right, it has been.
It's
in the ether. It's out there as a as a possibility.
right.
Right. Wow, that is very cool though. So a 4090 though, like that's talk about starting a fire. That thing takes how much electricity does that thing take? What does it suck back?
I think it's 450 watts.
Yeah,
450.
450 watts if it's stock. But if you're just gaming on it, it'll be less, like probably like closer to 300, 350.
But what does it have its own power supply? Like what kind of power supply do you need for that?
1,000 watt is what they.
1,000 watts is what they recommend. You could maybe get away with 850.
Wow.
Linus tried to run it on a 550, and the computer just kept shutting off.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because like any good power supply will have like overcurrent protection. So if it detects it's drawing too much more than it
Much
can
power,
handle, it'll
right.
just
Right.
nope out, and then yeah.
How do you make money making these computers though? I don't understand. Like I don't like. I'm
I
assuming
think
these are
it's
all.
razor thin.
They're fairly marked up,
Are they?
and you buy in bulk, so you get like cheaper parts than the average consumer can buy. Then you mark them up to more than the consumer could build something for. So then you get a pretty decent margin.
And would people? I'd be curious to know. Like ViPub, would you spend extra money on a computer that was made by a company that Moist Critical owns?
Probably not. As long as it has the same specs, I would get the PC.
That's like Lord Chunky. I would assume you do the same.
No,
Right?
it is a PC.
You're not gonna
But
pay
yeah.
extra.
If they made like the Moist Critical 5090 and it's actually like a
The
5090,
parts are the
yeah.
same as any other computer,
Right. I
pretty
see.
much.
If
Yeah.
the parts are the same and it's more expensive, then I would just buy the parts and get my dad to build it.
Right. Well, like Linus Tech Tips or whatever, like they now make a screwdriver that they made an electric screwdriver or whatever it is that they really like, or a screwdriver kit.
No,
And
it's just a ratcheting screwdriver.
Exactly. It's a ratcheting screwdriver and it's got it's basically just a branded screwdriver, right? I think they put a little bit of work into researching it, but they're basically reselling a screwdriver. I mean, like I'll buy branded stuff. I mean, look at clothes, for God's sake. People buy branded clothes. Like Baz will go and buy clothes because of not just because he likes the way they look, but also because there's a brand he likes. I mean, what about shoes and stuff? Those are all brands, right? A pair of shoes costs $40, but to make it probably costs $10, right? Maybe $5. I don't even know. And then you sell them for like 180 or something. Like that's insane.
Yeah, the shoes are marked up like crazy.
What kind are you? Are you into the shoes?
Huh.
Do you buy the shoes?
No, not really. I have like 2 pairs of shoes, and one of them is like 2 years old, and it's very beat up.
Right.
I've still got my shoes from 2000, and they look brand new.
Because I have
So
never
there.
walked
2000.
on them.
That's right. Plus,
No, I've never taken a step in them.
that's right.
I
Never been used.
I just bought the cheapest pair of running shoes I could find on Amazon. Like literally the cheapest. Like I went like, what is the cheapest pair of running shoes that can
I
arrive?
didn't realize you could buy shoes on Amazon. I never thought about that.
They are $40 running shoes, and it feels like
Oh,
I've
no
got-
wonder your back hurts.
I was
Let's see
gonna
if I
say,
Google
it
like
feels I've
running
got
shoes
nothing
and
on
I
my-
recognize them from like ones that were sitting next to your door.
They could be. Yeah, literally. They're just they're black. They're incredibly cheap. And they fall apart in about 2 months. It lasts about 2 months. Hello, Captain.
And you could
Captain.
probably get something that'll last like
Oh, it's
a
Mark
year or
McClung saying
two
hello,
and
Mark.
spend
Yeah,
$40
Well,
or
that's-
$80.
if they lasted
Yeah.
longer. But I don't find that the more expensive.
I think they would last longer.
You think the brand?
Like
name
I
ones?
walk in my shoes a good amount every day, and they've lasted me
How
like,
long is the walk to
over a year.
school for you guys? Like 20 minutes? 25 minutes?
like 25 minutes,
25 minutes. So they're walking 50 minutes a day plus all the time.
and then like another 10 minutes at lunch.
Hey, I know what we should talk about. I got something.
What?
So Baz, do we got Bag of Chips in here as well?
Hello.
Hey, how are you, Bag of Chips?
Hello, everybody.
Have you seen the rest of All Quiet on the Western Front yet, Bag of Chips?
No, I'm gonna watch that with Baz because we want to finish together.
Dude, it's depressing. I mean, it's really depressing.
It does look like it.
But I actually wanted to ask you a question about that. When
Yeah.
there's a tank in it.
Yeah,
A
the
couple-
Saint Chamond,
Thanks.
What's it called?
Saint Chamond, or
And-
Saint Chamond.
It's a
French.
French tank. And was that the first
Yeah.
time they'd ever been used in that?
Well, they were made from April 1917 to June 1918, and that was like November 1918.
Holy
So they still
crap.
had used before that.
Wow. And-
Chunky's still.
oh
no,
no,
I'm sorry.
I
Chips
mean-
is throwing knowledge.
Chunky knows his PC tech, and I'll tell you,
yeah.
Bag of Chips knows his war stuff. If there's any of that stuff, it's amazing.
That's cool.
Because we were also asking about the planes. There were planes being used there as well. Do you know anything about the planes being used in the First World War?
Not really, but
You're more of
yeah,
a tank.
no.
You're more of a tank fan, right?
Yeah, I don't know planes that much.
Do you play World of Tanks?
No, I don't actually.
But didn't you
Maybe
learn
you
a bunch? I
should.
thought you learned a bunch of tanks off that.
He plays
Um,
War Thunder, which you learn a bunch of tanks from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What's that?
War Thunder is pretty fun. It's like it's another like real
It's like World of Tanks,
war
but
game.
very, very realistic.
Huh.
More realistic.
And it also has like stuff with like planes and boats
Yeah,
and stuff.
and boats.
You know, Cal was playing a game which I can't recall. Is it Foxhole or
I play
or
Call
Trench?
of Duty.
Trench or something? Call of
Trench
Duty.
Warfare?
Is it Trench Warfare? What was it called, Cal? There was one game, and apparently it's like a Foxhole. It is Foxhole. See, I got it right the first time. Look at me. Apparently I'm a bit low. Am I? Oh, I am a bit low. It's because I've knocked my mic. I apologize.
I'm
I've
just
knocked
gonna
my mic
quickly
now.
cut in here.
Yeah, go.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go have some 2-day-old pizza.
Woohoo!
Oh,
2-day old
nice.
pizza. That's the best. Cold or hot? It's gone.
I'm gonna warm it
He's
up in the
gone.
microwave.
Warm it up. Smart. Very good.
Aw.
Very
Okay.
good. Very good. Wait, how do you know what I was playing that? Huh? No reason, Cal. But you told me, Cal. You told me you were playing Foxhole, and you said you really liked it.
He opened the back door to the computer.
But Foxhole is basically the idea that I get is that it's like one of those top-down game things, except that instead of them all being NPCs, non-player characters, they're all each person is a person in this world. It sounds
Oh.
amazing. It sounds kind of cool. Thanks, Mark Lapointe, for pointing out the audio issues, because it just wouldn't be a Tech Bandits without audio issues. That's interesting. Okay, so the tank, because the tanks thing in this I don't know if you Lord Chunky, I don't know if you're interested at all in that stuff, but this new All Quiet on the Western Front, it's basically World War I as seen from the German perspective, but like just the misery of war and this hideous contrast between the kids, literally kids, because they're basically your age, right? Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
16 wasn't that the age you had to be back then?
do people still find that like bag of chips? Like if someone said, "Hey, we want to train you how to use tanks and go to war," is that something that you'd think was interesting?
I mean, I wouldn't go to war, but I would like to learn how to use a tank.
But if you learn how to use a tank, aren't you going to learn it from somebody who wants you to go to war? I mean, why else would anyone want you to use a tank?
I mean, I would learn it just so I could learn it, but I don't want to go to war necessarily.
Then I've got a crazy cool suggestion for you. I saw this guy on the internet who takes like model vehicles and puts what do they call it? First person perspective, whatever it is, and puts them on the car so you can basically drive around as if you were in the car, right?
That's cool.
A car or a tank?
Or you could, well, that was my next thing. I was going to say, like, why not make a tank, right? You could literally have it like you could have it on a course out in, out in the woods and do it as a tank. I've always wanted to build a Caterpillar track system, like some, Lance, you've probably seen, have you seen those,
I've seen a wheelchair like that.
That's
yeah.
what I was going to say. Yeah. They're amazing looking things. And basically they're designed so
my
you could,
head would just
would
pop off.
Well, you could
Any of those turns.
But you could get it to, couldn't you get one to like that like locks you in place? Like a helmet type thing or something? Or
But let's say I had more control of my hand and could drive it. What do I do when I hit like fly off of a jump and kind of hit sideways? My arms, I'd be punching myself in the
Wow.
well, let's say face. I was going to say groin, but
if
I'm
you
too
stream
cool for
that,
that.
if you stream that, you'd make a fortune because I'd watch that.
True.
I'd watch you pummel yourself with your own hands. I think that'd be amusing.
True.
Okay, so what did we cover? We covered World War. We covered this. Are there any other movies?
I got to show you need to watch absolutely. Werewolf by Night is awesome.
I liked it. There are parts of it I loved. There are parts of it I didn't love.
It's got Man Thing. Dude.
I loved Man Thing. Yes, absolutely loved Man Thing. That's true.
Okay then.
So it's not all games. We're in the lab. So James, you were streaming from the lab this morning? Apparently, Dr. Professor Perfect flooded the lab. I still don't know what that cue
Flooded
thing
the
is.
lab?
Did you explain that? Yeah, because James now has his own lab. Like literally has his own lab in. Was it University of? What did we say? It was University of Georgia. Georgia U.
Yeah, and he was working at the lab late one night, and his eyes beheld an eerie sight. It's true. Nobody.
What
Nobody.
was that? I'm hearing crickets. I'm hearing crickets, Lance.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's
so
the song.
James
Monster
has
Mash.
his own lab, and but apparently he flooded it today.
With what?
I don't know.
Water?
Well, I think it was water, but I don't know what the system was
Called
that
it
he was.
MILIQ water.
Can we look it up on the internet? Is he not? Oh, that's it.
Milky water?
Millicue is used to make super clean water for sciencey stuff. That's the technical term for it. In fact, on their website, I'm sure it says we do super clean water for sciencey stuff. Really?
True.
Okay, but it was leaking water. Was it leaking? Was it leaking super sciencey water, or was it leaking just like the regular water? That's what I want.
I hope it wasn't doing something
Fancy
expensive.
water?
It seems like it does sound expensive, doesn't it? It says, "Are you familiar with quadcopter FPV racing?" Oh my gosh, I'd love to, except that I think I'd puke everywhere, because other than my new glasses that allow me to, I got these motion sickness glasses, which have been amazing. I had to drive up and down to North Bay, 4 hours at a pop, and I put those glasses on. I could even use my phone. Didn't get sick. Normally, I get all pukey feeling. When I
Oh,
do that.
that's wonderful.
Yeah, it was really good. Actually, great. It was shooting out water at high pressure. Oh my gosh, was that streamed? Oh, wait a second. There's a pun in there. I thought, were you streaming on Twitch when you started streaming out of the Milky Q or whatever it's called, the Millie Q?
Yeah, Milky Q.
You're like, James is like a streaming disaster. It's like when you stream with James, you're either going to get fire or water, fire or flood. That's the thing.
True, he is.
No, I wish.
Oh my God, he's the seventh sign.
It really is. He's the sign. He's the
Next, it's going to be locust.
He's the stream of the apocalypse, basically. He's the apocalyptic stream. You guys are having a trend, fire or water. Exactly. That's it. And I just have audio issues. That's all. Mine are pretty dull compared to that. All right. You said the motion sickness glasses are Citron, right? I need to check them out if they work. They do work. Sci-Fi Gal. They work for me. But then I've talked to a bunch of people. Some people, they found the little magnets. They worked. Didn't do a thing for me. Some people found the little copper bracelet things and the pressure points. That did it. Didn't work for me.
Oh, those are fake.
But the googly stupid glasses with the horizon on them seem to work for me. So, ginger, same thing, no difference, not at all. Ginger ale, no.
James R. Gurney said, "Look, he's already done the locust.
Locusts have already happened. That's true. Well, the
What are
locust.
the other things that are supposed to happen?
Bag of Chips'
Plague?
dad can do that. Bag of Chips' dad is a professional on locusts, basically.
Oh, he's an entomologist?
There you go, and crickets and stuff, right? So, hey, are any of those crickets still alive, or the grasshoppers? Remember you guys went out to Edmonton to get?
Yeah. I don't know if they're still alive. They either are still. I think they are still alive, actually.
Yeah.
Probably.
You think they might still be alive?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I've got company. Hang on 2 seconds. Please talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Well,
All right, what are we
anyways,
talking about?
did you get to see Hewlett's show yet?
The
Oh,
show?
okay.
No, I haven't.
No, I have not.
It's another Guillermo del Toro one?
Guys.
The horror
Yep,
one, right?
and it's really good.
What's it
Don't
called?
tell. I already told him that.
What's
It's
this?
called Cabinet of Curiosities.
Oh, here we go.
That's the
Oh, I've heard of
overall
that,
name.
yeah.
But the specific episode that David stars in is called Cemetery Rats. Yeah.
Oh, is it called Cemetery
Graveyard.
Rats?
Which
it
one is
Cemetery
it?
Rats or is it Graveyard Rats? I thought it was Graveyard Rats.
Ah, shit. I don't know.
I probably got it wrong.
It's probably Graveyard Rats.
Oh,
Notice he's talking to somebody else, but as soon as we mention the topic, you're like, let me correct you on that.
I'm sorry. Hello.
Okay, Graveyard
Were you
Rats.
talking
I
about me?
apologize.
I think it's like, yeah, like I go look up the show and he's right on the cover. That's pretty cool.
Right? Blood splatter all over him.
I tried to deliver.
And there's like a big rat.
There's a giant rat. It's a
Yeah.
giant freaking rat. It's actually
How did they
kinda
do the
fun.
rat?
It's
Was it
a
like a real
really
thing?
good show.
Animatronic. It's an animatronic rat. There's a
that's
person.
Yeah, it's all practical effects.
There's
Mostly.
there were like
I saw
six people.
CGI, but
Like 6 people operating, and there's some CGI as well. When it's I think some of the running stuff they had to CGI, and then some of the rats they had to CGI, and the rest of them they just put on my face. There's a cool YouTube channel called RC Test Flight that you might be interested in. It's a guy with a proper engineering background. None of this stuff. Building RC stuff. And it's all kind of cool things. Oh, I shall check that out. RC Flight Test. I'm looking it up right now. You better be right. You better be amazing.
Well, I'm already subscribed to them.
Oh, really? That's so
Yeah.
funny. I find that a lot where I go in and go like, oh, I wonder what these guys do. And I'm like, oh, but why is it not showing up? All right, RC flight test. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Shut the front door. No, I'm not subscribed. I am subscribed now. There you go.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, I'm not signed in. Wait a second. There you go. Sign in again. Oh, for God's sake. There you go. Now it's asking.
So-
Keeper's asking me for stuff now, right now. Here we go.
How did you keep all those rats in your mouth, Dave?
It was very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. You know, it's funny. I thought they used CG at the end on the body. Like I thought the body motion was CG. Apparently, that's literally what
But
I
it was
did.
you.
That's apparently
You
that
were
is
spazzing out.
that's it. I was like, really? All
What
right.
an actor.
I'm
What
gonna-
an actor.
I was born to have
Holy moly.
small rats in my mouth and body. Okay, so there's another AI thing that came up that I thought was really interesting. Was apparently you can like let's say you create a PC, you build a PC that you like. You just take a boring old snapshot of it with your phone. You feed it into this AI and say, make this look like an awesome product, and it will start spitting out different possible campaigns for your PC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, including you can even have it come up with like text captions or names or any of that kind of stuff.
Wait.
Isn't that wild?
What's that dating app that everybody uses that you swipe right? I wonder if I could take a picture of me and put it on there.
Is it Tinder? Is Tinder the dating one or is that
Tinder,
is it
Tinder, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. And then you could like create a profile for yourself.
Well,
Well-
have the AI go through and like really talk me up.
Well, you want to hear crazy? Another thing someone said the other day was they said, what's going to happen when this next generation of kids, like probably younger, I'm guessing, than the Lord Chunkies of the world, but what's going to happen when kids grow up and AI are their best friends? Because think about it. An AI is going to be supportive, and it could get you the things you need, and it could, and it can, when you're feeling down, it could send you some nice inspirational quotes or order you food or flowers or whatever. Like, what's going to happen when a large portion of a kid's friends are AI? Like, you wouldn't even know in some cases. You wouldn't even know in some cases.
Kind of gross.
Isn't that wild? Like, that's really weird. But if you think about it, they'd be far more reliable, right? They'd always do what you want. They'd always have your best interest in mind.
Yeah, but who's going to teach you that smoking's cool?
Exactly. The kids will be perfect. Do kids still smoke in school? Do they really do that still?
I think so.
Well, I don't know. I was just
Really?
thinking of you.
But do they
People
smoke?
do.
Like,
I don't go to the bathroom during school, but I'm assuming so.
Well, so the bathroom is still the place where everyone goes. They go hang out.
Yeah, but it's not really smoking. It's more vaping. I'm
That's
assuming.
what I was gonna say. Is it more?
I am back from eating pizza. I went into the bathroom and all you can smell is like vape in the school washroom.
Oh my
Really?
gosh!
right?
Even
And are they vaping tobacco? Or are
God.
they vaping pot? Or are they
Tobacco.
I don't know. I can only know what it smells like.
Or not
Right.
It's like, yeah.
Hey guys,
Tobacco.
is that tobacco smoke or is that? But it's not. But there's no tobacco in it, is there? Like a vape doesn't. Does a vape have tobacco?
No,
in
it doesn't have tobacco. What is it?
It's
What's the
nicotine?
thing called
Like
again?
nicotine.
nicotine.
Yeah, nicotine. That's what I was thinking of.
Ha. But then, and do you get if you breathe in the fumes that they're breathing? Well, I guess they're not breathing any fumes out, are they? But if you breathe it in, do you get the same nicotine stuff?
My sister
Not sure,
secondhand smokes the crap out of me on that.
Oh, really? You're lightly smoking.
Yeah, she vapes like a vapor chamber. Yeah.
But okay, so the vape that your sister's smoking it's got nicotine in it.
Yes.
I drove with.
And
a
I
guy.
think they put flavor in it.
Oh
too.
yeah, no, the flavor. But I heard the flavors they were thinking about making flavors illegal because they thought that's going to bring kids into smoking. I mean, vaping.
Well, this is actually smoking flavor, like the flavor of smoking tobacco,
Really?
which seems gross.
Okay. All right. Wait a second. So when the kids go into the bathroom, sorry, not the kids. When the tech bandits go into the bathroom, you're saying that there are like how? Okay, give me a youngest age that you've seen someone vaping at school.
Grade 6.
Okay, how old are you in grade 6?
Oh yeah. 12.
12? Yeah, 12.
Really? And do you think they're smoking just like? Is it real vape? Do you think, or is it like? Are they really getting nicotine and stuff? Do you think?
I'm guessing
I
it's.
don't think there is any other kind. Go ahead.
I'm guessing it's probably just stuff that they like just grabbed from parents.
Okay. Did you have you seen anyone get sick? Because nicotine can make you really sick. I used when
Yeah.
I smoked when
I
I was a
haven't.
kid, and I got very very sick a couple of times, like just throwing up, like because you could OD on nicotine basically. What about Lord Chunky? What's the youngest you've seen someone vaping at school or anywhere?
Um, I remember like when I was in grade 7, some of the kids would vape
Really?
near
And you
the end, yeah,
and
of
you
the
think
year.
they were things that they'd stolen from their parents or something?
Um, I don't think so. Probably mostly like older siblings got them or
Oh, of course. Is there any desire? Do you guys have any like? Does it seem cool at
No,
all?
it seems really cringe and like disgusting.
it's
Real
yeah.
real cringe. I was like, that's another
It's
word I don't know. Cringe. Okay, so
Eh,
but is that
incredibly cringe, yeah.
but it's funny, like I remember when I mean I was much younger than you, but I remember like as a little kid, I was like, smoking's bad, it's evil. But then when I was 14, I was like all of a sudden I was like, smoking, huh? You know what I mean? Like it was stupid. Looking back, I go, God, I wish like why did I even start? It's so dumb. But it was
Wait a minute.
older kids.
We are the same age, and
Mm.
we're close. You're older, of course. But do you remember they had candy cigarettes and you could puff out the
Yeah,
powdered sugar?
yeah.
Oh,
Except
and
that was
bubblegum cigars.
yeah, but it was that powder was either flour or baby powder, wasn't it? Like
Powdered sugar.
yeah, powdered sugar.
No,
That's
it's
right.
powdered sugar.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they had chocolate cigarettes as well, which we liked as well.
True. That way we can become habituated to
The feeling.
cigarettes before we actually came of age.
Exactly. We still thought they were cool. But vapes always look stupid to me in movies. When I see people smoking vapes, it's always like it's like a loser character or something. It's not really done like in the old movies, the sexy leading man or lady would sort of smoke a cigarette and the smoke would hang in the air and it would look cool and all that kind of stuff. But is anyone smoking cigarettes anymore?
I don't think
Not
so.
much, I don't think. Like more people smoke weed than would smoke cigarettes.
So they'll actually smoke
True.
like weed like in a joint type thing
Yeah.
in the
Well, there's some
bathroom.
kids like I think they're probably in like grade 12 or something that will like see in the alley when we're walking back from eat
Oh
lunch,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just like they have like a bong and it's like passing it around.
They've got a bong like
Kind of
they're
yeah,
serious.
it's kind
Wow.
of sad. I
And
don't know.
is that
Yeah.
and is it still the same sort of thing when I was there when it's like you've got like you got the burnouts and then you've got the metalheads and then you've got this
It
other
looks
like
like
a
a
bit of
group of sad-looking kids in the alleyway.
Yeah, it's like
Hmm.
there was like 3 girls or something. That's like passing.
Yeah.
Really
I
in
don't know.
grade 12.
Yeah. That's my guess.
Huh.
They didn't look like grade 11.
Seemed like it.
Wow. It's so funny because I wonder like where you're. I just like I wonder why you guys have no interest in that, and well maybe you're just lying, but the sense I get is you're
It's
not.
fine.
But it's like I keep saying to Baz, I was like, look, I can't tell you what to do with your life, but please just don't mess with your brain until it's finished developing, and that's in its 20s, right? Is that not right? Is it the 20s where it
Yeah,
stops?
25 is what I've heard.
25?
When your cerebellum finally really settles in,
So
helps you make choices better.
you shouldn't get drunk or stoned before you're 25, is what they're saying?
That's not what I said. I said
No, no,
your
no. I'm
brain
just saying.
stops
No, but I'm saying,
developing.
but basically, in an ideal world, you're saying that's what would happen. I certainly,
I think so. Unless it's some kind of treatment for depression or something. Yeah, I would say so.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder. That's true because, man, you don't want to be mixing. You don't want to be mixing. You don't want to be mixing your drugs too, right? You don't want to be on antidepressants and then smoking whatever that.
I wouldn't think so.
I think that'd be. A
I
bad
know they're
thing.
microdosing mushrooms now
What?
to treat like
Oh, I thought you meant in
yeah,
school.
yeah.
I was like, what?
No. Like just as a treatment for post-traumatic stress syndrome and
Right.
depression. They're like
Yes.
little bits so small that you really don't. There's no hallucinogenic effect or anything. And I guess it's having great results.
I've heard that. I've also heard that there's a big push behind it. So there's a lot of people who want to believe that it's working really well, and so they've sort of pushed it without a lot of the scientific background stuff. So I
They
don't.
just voted to make it legal in Colorado. So woohoo.
It's such one of those weird things that I find like, how do you make something illegal that you can grow? You know what I mean? Like it's just such a weird
Right.
concept to me. Like I'm not saying you shouldn't. I don't know. But I mean, you can grow a poppy, I guess, and thus you can make opium, and that's freaking terribly addictive. I mean, you know, are there other? I mean, sorry, I don't mean to be such an old man, but are there other drugs and things that parents are not aware of? I mean, is there stuff happening at school?
Not that I'm aware of, at least.
Like no
I'll
one's
bet they're hitting Ritalin
Like
pretty
it's mostly
hard.
just like vaping and weed, as far as I can tell.
right. Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's what you're. That yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I guess this and it's not there's not like party drugs going around. Like when you go to a party, there's not someone like, hey, let's all do. Baz was explaining some of them to me. I can't remember what they were. Molly.
Do they even go to parties?
That's true.
No.
Do you guys go to parties?
No.
That's what I thought.
Oh, really? What do you do then? You come
Not
to my
go to
house.
parties.
What am I saying? You come to my house. You're always at my
Yes,
house.
Yeah.
exactly.
No, but I mean, like, what do you do other than going to people's houses? What do you do? The center.
Not parties.
Interesting. So, really, so people don't go like, let's have a big Halloween party or something?
Well, actually, we did that. We went to Jack's house instead.
Mhm.
What? No, I'm kidding. But the idea is like, oh, like so Jack's dad's not there, so we're gonna have a party at Jack's house. Is that the idea?
Yeah, except we didn't have a party. We just like went to his house and hung out.
No, I know, but I mean, but even just, I'm not
Yeah.
saying you're like misbehaving, but I'm saying, is there an appeal to being at a house that doesn't have parents there?
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I totally get that. That makes sense to me. Which is not necessarily.
David sold tickets to that probably. Go ahead.
That's it. That's it. Oh wow! Did you hear? I saw this crazy Vice thing about a kid who was like 16 or 17 years old, and he started throwing these like underage dance parties, and made millions and millions of dollars by like inviting, like he'd go like, oh, let's get, you know, I don't know who would. I'm going to embarrass myself by saying who would show up, but like one of those singer rapper people would show up, and he would invite them, and he'd say like, I'll give you like $100,000 to show up at this party, and then they would show up at the party, and he'd give them $100,000 because he'd sold all these tickets. But then he started inviting.
Oh my god!
But then he got behind. Then he got like, oh well, I spent the money. I should have spent the money on paying the guy, but instead I spent it on whatever, like booze and whatever, and going on trips and buying nice cars and stuff. So he got behind. So he started borrowing money to pay them.
Oh no!
And then started losing money on the events, and just got further and further behind. And eventually he got like, he was in bad with like loan sharks and all this kind of stuff. But he was literally 16 or 17 doing these underage dance party things, and everyone was like showing up and having a great time, and you know,
My brother did. What were those hot tub and kegger parties? They had both
hot
at the same
tub,
time.
Really? So you'd
Yep.
bring a keg to a hot tub party.
Or yeah, they had portable hot tubs too.
But you know, I worked.
So they would go to like Horsetooth Reservoir up in the mountains and
Sorry,
do that kind of stuff.
they'd bring the hot tub with them.
Correct. It was like on a trailer kind of thing.
No.
You put a boat or yeah.
Really? Dude, that's
True
how they
story.
should. That's how they should transport you around. Forget the back of the truck thing. You should be in a hot tub. They put you in a hot
Yeah,
tub.
I mean, a hot tub.
Yeah.
And we could sell tickets to that too.
There
Look
you
at the
go.
manatee. Not a manatee. It's a
Half man, half fish. Wow. See, I didn't. We had school dances. That's what we did. Do you guys do school dances?
I
Not
don't know.
I don't know. Or at least
Not last
none,
year.
Here we do it.
none last year, none so far this year.
But Vipup, you do.
Really?
Yeah, we do it here.
Hmm. But
I
Vipup,
don't do it.
are you at a co-ed school? Boys, both.
Yeah, it's just a public school.
Right. Okay. So it's okay. So yeah, because I was at an all boys school. So when you had a dance, we have to invite we'd invite the girls' schools. Was basically what we would do.
maybe.
Maybe, yeah, definitely back then, because you know back then we were crazy stupid about what we thought about these things.
True.
But okay, so Baz said there was a new drug that he was telling me about. And I was like, well, how do you know about this? And he goes, my dealer, and of course he was joking. And because I'd never heard of it. M2 something or another. M2.
And I don't know.
Yeah, it was some kind of like crazy strong hallucinogenic thing, and apparently like the effects
Ooh.
last for like 4 days or something. And it's like
Oh, jeez.
it hospitalized like 4 kids the first time it showed up at I say kids. I say that sorry. When I say kids, I mean anyone under the age
Wait,
of
what
55.
is that stuff?
You know?
It's very hallucinogenic, but what was it?
What was it? I'm looking this up now. M2 something or another. M2. What did you call it again? M2?
No, you called it something. I'm not sure.
M2D
I'll have to
something?
look it up. Joe Rogan talks about it all the time
He's always talking about that
because
stuff.
he takes it as a mind expander or some dumb thing like that.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to me. Like I go like, is it a mind expander or is it
No,
DMT? What is
DMT.
What is
That's what it was.
DMT? What is
A
that?
hallucinogen.
I just don't want to. I feel like it's already hard enough for me to concentrate already without any of this stuff.
Right.
The other thing that I noticed is that when I just did this Hallmark movie and I worked with a number of young actors, like in their early 20s, they also don't drink. Like we used to drink.
No,
like,
they don't even drink soda.
Yeah, we used to drink like
A
idiots.
lot of them.
No, they drink. They'll drink they'll drink energy drinks, but not
yeah.
alcohol, which is weird. You know. Okay, wait a sec. Dimethyltryptamine. Boy, I couldn't even say that.
Tryptamine. That's the DMT.
Interesting. Okay. With some, what's the one? Did anyone find out what that DB2
I
thing
think it'd be
was?
fine to not drink alcohol.
You think it'd be fine not to drink alcohol?
Yeah, I don't.
Yes.
Never liked it.
I don't know why we felt like we had to. Like, I feel like it was sort of like in all of the movies we watched, we saw people drink and they were having so much fun, and it was all just a lie.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, if you drink too much, you just get sick. You act stupid, get sick, and feel horrible the next day.
I don't
So it's
think
not.
if you drink, you just feel weird.
It definitely. Well, I think it also depends on how much you drink too. A lot of these things, right? I mean, some people can have a glass of wine and it seems to relax them, and they have it with dinner or whatever, and that seems pretty okay. But there's some people you're like, oh boy, they're never leaving. they just keep drinking. Was that Fluffy the cat talking? I can't see my Discord.
I don't think it
Yes,
was.
it is Fluffy the cat.
Oh, what?
Hey, Fluffy the cat. There you go. So Fluffy, so you're at school. What are you seeing this stuff happening at school? I mean, do you see the
No,
other?
I'm not in school
Vaping.
right now. I'm not in school right now.
But when you go to school, is there do you have are there kids hanging out in the bathroom smoking vapes and stuff?
No, no one does that.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. What grades are we talking about here? What grade 5, 6, 7? Where we at?
6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 8th, 9th.
Really? So it goes up to grade 9, and you're not seeing any of that in the school?
Yes.
Wow. Is that because they're really strict or something, do you think? Or is it just a different attitude?
I don't know.
Well, wait a sec. How big is the school is the next thing.
It's really
call-
big.
Really big? Is it a really big school?
Yes.
How many people are there at your school, Bag of Chips, or
Over 1,600.
1,600 kids. Okay. So there's bound
many.
to be a few kids who's smoking vapes or whatever in there. Do people keep you out of the bath? Do any parents come in or teachers come in and say, hey,
No.
really?
No.
But do you think they know what's going on?
Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
You want to hear crazy? When I was in high school, there was a smoking section for the kids.
True.
In the
There was
school.
a smoking area when I was in school.
Yeah, in the school.
High school.
Yeah, isn't that bizarre? Even though everyone knew
In my day.
it caused cancer and stuff, but it was still something that for some reason was allowed. Oh wow! All right, there's someone called Doobly. Hello, Doobly, who says there's DOB, DOC, DOM, which are all long-acting hallucinogens, but they aren't that common these days. Yeah. Interesting.
I got drunk one time, guys.
Did
I
you?
was 16. Yep.
Yeah.
It was
By-
like
by accident
3
or on
shots
purpose?
of tequila.
By accident
No,
or on
well,
purpose?
I didn't know that little would blotto me.
Oh, I see.
I literally couldn't remember like past 12 o'clock. And then I
Really?
woke up and I had lint in my mouth, carpet lint. I'm like, why the hell do I have
Really?
carpet lint in my mouth? And then my brother and cousin's like, oh, we dropped the pizza and then we fed it to you anyway.
Oh no,
So
really?
that's what happened.
Oh, that's.
Yeah,
Oh
I was
man.
so sick. Ugh.
Um, I would think in a situation like yours, Lance, if you lose control of your mind, then you've got like what's like
Nothing.
I was gonna say, what's the point
Yeah.
of being around? You can't move. You can't. It's not like you're having any more fun. I guess.
No.
I mean, this is the weird
I
thing
did
that
not enjoy it at all.
Right.
I hated it.
Well, you're basically
So
poisoning your brain, aren't you? Isn't that like basically what you're doing when you drink too much?
I think that seems like what you're doing. Yeah.
Like, why is
Especially, yeah, people who get drunk to the point of blacking out every weekend. I don't get it.
the binge drinking, as they call it? I think it is.
Yeah.
That's interesting though. But so there's no cool factor here. Like none of you who are in school right now are seeing. There's none of this like, oh, the cool kids go and they drink and smoke and hang out and this that's not seen as a cool thing. That's seen as just a loser thing now. Is that right? We put them all to sleep, I think, at this point.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just yeah, it's funny. I'm curious. It's such a completely different setup now than it was, which I find interesting. Here's a question. I got a question for people. So apparently, we are about to have another strike at schools here. So
Yep, on Friday.
Yeah.
Friday they're gonna end.
Really?
So what is your sense of this? I mean, my first response would be woohoo, but
Yeah.
I was on strike for a week here.
You're going on strike for a week?
I already was on strike.
Oh,
for a
they
week.
already were on strike. Really? Without being specific, not Lord, I know Lord Chunky, not Lord Fluffy, Fluffy the cat. Without being specific as to where you are, what's the state or the area you're in?
Huh?
Like what part of the
Seattle.
world are you in?
Toronto.
No, I know
Mark.
you are. Sorry, I'm in.
Seattle.
What was it?
We're in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Oh, Seattle. Okay, all right. So Washington State. I didn't
Yes.
realize that
Nice.
there were. I didn't realize there were teacher strikes there as well. Wow. And was it a
They've
teacher
been
strike?
happening here a lot.
Really? Because
We
we
go
just.
on strike every 3 years, basically, when other contracts back up.
Oh wow. I guess we do the same thing then, because it's about every 3-4 years. I think it's 4 years actually for us. It's a 4-year contract, so that's probably
Yeah,
it.
but it's the district that just like messes around because they essentially refuse to negotiate until like the week before school was supposed to start. And then they're
Right.
like, if the teachers love the kids, they'd agree to our terms, which is not having enough instructional aides
Right.
and like not having class caps for special ed.
So the debate here is that they want to up the amount of hourly rates they're making, which makes sense because they haven't changed in a while. And but the offer was a 1% increase. They're asking
Ooh,
for an 11.
that's not very good.
They're asking for an 11 and something percent increase, which I would argue
Shouldn't it keep up with
inflation.
yeah,
at
don't you
least
think?
at least inflation. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would also argue that that's also negotiating, isn't it? Like you come in as low as you can, or you come in as high as you can. Like that's, and then you meet in the middle is the idea, isn't it? But it,
Yeah.
Just offer people a fair contract from the beginning.
that would be a lot easier. But that's just never the way it is, right? It's always a negotiation of some sort. So, but what's happened in this case, which is frustrating, is that it's not actually the teachers; it's the support staff, and the problem is that they're trying to legislate them back to work. So they're basically saying you're not allowed to strike, and they're saying, "What are you going to do to stop us if we don't
Well,
show up?"
that's exactly what happened here. Like, their teachers are not supposed to go on strike, and
Right.
they do that in Florida. They actually like threaten them, but
Mm.
here, what are they going to do? Because the parents were all behind the teachers. Like
Right.
the district has a straight line to all the parents. Like the district can mass email every parent and send propaganda and everything, and like still the parents were all behind the teachers because what the district is asking is ridiculous. And it wasn't even about pay. It was about the fact that they didn't have enough teachers in the classroom, and they wanted to mix everybody up and not have class cap. So it just like it was going to
What
be
are the
horrible.
class caps there now? What are
That's what they
Well,
did here.
it depends because you have like different types of special education. So like some kids are going to need like a one-to-one aid. Some kids, and when you think about special education, like sometimes we think, okay, they need more support, but a lot of SPED is actually behavioral. So it's not like this kid needs support. It's that if this kid doesn't have support, this kid's going to throw a chair across the room, and now we have to evacuate the classroom. So like they didn't, so different. If you have some kids are in self-contained classrooms, but everybody wants to integrate everyone. Like we want everybody in the same classroom if we
Right.
can do it with like enough staff, because what'll happen if you just put kids in their own classroom is sometimes they're not getting the education that they should because it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. So everybody is on board for integration. But what happened is that they, right now, because there's a little bit more of the resource rooms where kids are like in a room by themselves,
Right.
those have specific class caps. And what they were saying is when we integrate, we're not going to say any class caps, but just like trust us, you'll have enough IH, you'll have enough paras. But like, of course, nobody trusts them because they don't. You know, like if they were going to do it, they would have put it in the contract. So basically, the teachers went on strike so that they would have enough support.
But it was actually a teacher strike as opposed to, because this is actually a teacher support, and I believe it's like, is it the
The teachers went on strike for the instructional aides and the paras to have more pay, in addition to the fact that they wanted to hire enough of them
right?
and to have enough mental health counselors and stuff like that. Because also we don't have a socialized healthcare system. So like a lot of times the only ways the kids are getting
They
like
have to have,
food, healthcare, mental health support, that's all happening through the schools.
right?
So like
of course.
when our teachers went on strike, one of the big questions was, how are kids going to eat breakfast and lunch?
Right. What is James has got a question? Well, actually, before we do that,
That's huge here.
But going back to our Ontario kids here. What do we know? Who's going on strike? Who's originally on strike there?
It's a strike sponsored by QP, and I think it's like janitors and stuff like that.
It is the janitors and stuff. Okay, all right. So and they can't do and so, but are the teachers then going? The teachers. So there's no school on Friday in support of them. Is that right? Or is it because you can't have school without them?
I think we can't.
Oh, the teachers better be
I don't know.
in solidarity.
I
Little
think
neck
they
of
are.
woods.
The sense
Okay.
I get is that they are. So James has a question. LOL, I was just giving David a hard time since he was suggesting a business entrepreneur podcast to Wolf Pup last time. It was whatever, James Argurney. All right. Not to be a scab. What is scab? Scab is someone who works when they're not supposed to work
Person
in the
that
strike.
crosses the picket line.
Okay. Does it mean
Yeah.
something, or is that just a nasty term for them type thing?
It sounds gross.
If you want to do a Tech Bandits from my lab, I'd be down, but then they'd have to learn biology, which is the worst.
I like biology.
Yeah, there you go. We got one taker already. But that's not being a scab, is it? I mean, I think they're doing. Were they teaching at home while they were on strike? While you were on strike, Elizabeth with a Z?
No, they were on strike. They weren't working. They were striking. They were picking. We went down to visit them. They were having like a barbecue out in front of the school.
Right.
No, they had a barbecue inside the school.
Oh, apologies. They had a barbecue. No, they were outside the school. They didn't walk in the building. Remember? They were
To get the food.
What?
You had to go
Oh,
outside
yeah.
the
To get the food, they wanted the parents to cross the picket line. So basically, the schools were still saying we'll serve lunch, but they were serving lunch inside the school, forcing parents to cross a picket line to get food for their kids.
Right.
And so there was a big uproar, and like 2 days later, they were doing food in the public parks because the
Right.
parents were so pissed off. They were making us cross picket lines to get the food.
Right, of course. God, that's really uncomfortable. I feel like there should be. There's no way to really solve it, is there? Because I mean, you got the cost of living going up. You've got everything is more expensive now, anyways. So.
Well, yeah, it's higher taxes on people who can afford it. That would be the way to.
There you go.
What is
Tax wealth. Woohoo.
That's that's interesting too. So okay, so I'm doing. I have to vote in the California. I have to vote in the American in the elections, and from out of the California because that's the last state we lived in. And there was I mean, talk about like there being two sides to a coin on this stuff, or that how difficult some of this politics stuff is, how complicated it is. There's this one I don't know what it would be called, law or whatever rule that they're trying to come up with, which is basically a green car policy, which they would say basically that that they were gonna tax people who make more than $2 million a year, and they're gonna take that money and they're gonna put it towards developing, electric cars, electric infrastructure, solar, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, well, who the hell's gonna vote against that? You know what I mean? Only people who earn more than $2 million a year. Except that
a lot of people.
Except that what's funny is apparently the bill was created by Lyft, and the whole point of it is to get the government to pay for their transition from gas to electric. They don't want to have to incur all those costs, because if the government is demanding electric vehicles, and they have to be electric by a certain date, then, Lyft and these other companies are going to need to invest in that infrastructure themselves, and they would rather it be done, obviously, with the taxpayers' money instead. So
this is the issue with the prop system in California, is that and it's kind of the same in Washington, but not to the same degree, is that the like all of these really rich corporations and stuff like that, they can afford to essentially lie to everybody and create a whole bunch of propaganda. So like when the drivers for Uber were trying to say like, hey, we're not independent contractors, we're employees. Like basically Uber funded this giant prop whatever.
Right.
And so they had a referendum to overturn law. And then the drivers all got screwed over, but Uber essentially got like 3 people to kind of not scab, but to basically say, hey, I'm a driver and I hate this. I want to be free from healthcare.
Yeah.
Well, the oil company's been doing it for years, right? The oil company.
Yeah,
the reason
and
why
so
we have
it's
no nuclear energy is because the
when
oil
you don't
companies
have
actively-
caps on how people can fund these things, and when did you get your study guide for the election where they send you like the little book that's like
yeah.
And so you had this like giant study guide and you have to read through everything. Like my family, when I lived in LA, like I would read the study guide and vote, and then like 7 family members would just copy my answers.
Well, which is great, as long as then you're deciding for 7 people what the
right. So my
vote
vote counted almost as much as someone from Wyoming at that point. It was awesome.
Right.
Nice.
Well, Jane and I, we sort of turned it into a date night, and we sit down with the book and we go through and we go on the website, we do all the research, we go back and forth on all the different things to get both perspectives on it and to discuss it, and then we choose what we're going to vote. And sometimes, I mean, I would say 99.99999 we agree, and then every so often this one where I'll go one way and she'll go the other. But it's just I actually quite look forward to the vote process now, because I get to sit around with my wife and discuss, politics and ways of fixing the world and things.
What do you do on judges? Because they just say, shall we keep this judge? And that's so hard. I just went with the idea, well, I want these guys to turn over so they don't become too powerful. So I just always say, sure, go ahead, get rid of them and replace them. But I don't know.
Keep turning them over. There's an interesting campaign that they're pushing, PSA that they're pushing in the States now, apparently, which is to try to get, younger folks to vote. And it's an ad that basically says, don't vote. Right? It's a bunch of old people saying,
"Oh, reverse psychology."
Yeah, and the idea is like, no, I don't care about the environment. I'm going to be dead in 40 years, or
nice.
I want all the money to go towards retirement because I'm about to retire, and it's like this whole series of things that basically says like, so don't vote, don't do it. I don't want you to vote.
I like it.
Well, look, James, thank you very much. Friday. I don't believe they're forcing them to do any learning on Friday, so I have a feeling it'll be a hard sell to get. But I'd be interested in knowing what biology you're doing. Maybe I'll come in and have a look. And this Friday we're talking to
Lawrence.
We're talking to Lawrence.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
True.
Are we streaming that, or is that just a chat between us? Is that?
I feel like it's just a chat.
Okay, all right, good. All right, I wasn't sure. I get confused with these things. Okay, the Democratic candidate sent out an example ballot with what they suggested to mark off. Even though my ballot mimicked theirs, I didn't like that. Huh. I don't really like the parties.
There's a bunch of places.
I don't like the
There's
idea
like
that,
working families.
yeah,
Go ahead.
that does the same thing, that sends out a list of suggested votes.
Yeah, you can find people who kind of have your similar
Hmm.
morals and then look at what they do. Like working families is what I look at. I don't follow them completely.
Hmm.
Like, for instance, the legalized mushrooms, I was fine with that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that kind of stuff.
They said don't legalize mushrooms.
They were indifferent
Right.
on
Right.
that one. So,
Uh,
though there was one about allowing Uber drivers to deliver alcohol.
oh.
It was really weird.
I think they've started doing that. No, it's not alcohol. I think they've started. They're allowed to. So get this: along with snacks, they can now deliver pot. Is that what we call it? Do we still call it pot?
Here
Is that,
in Canada or
in Canada?
California?
Yeah, in Canada. Well, in Ontario. Okay. In Ontario, apparently, I don't know whether they have yet or whether they were suggesting that. So I can't imagine that alcohol delivery's got to be fairly close behind. I would think we're so far behind on that stuff. Like we still have a liquor control board. Like it's like Soviet Union here. You have to line up at a government-run store to get alcohol. Not that I really drink.
Dude, where I'm at, you can't buy alcohol on Sunday.
What?
True story.
Crazy.
And car lots can't sell cars on Sunday either.
You get alcohol delivery in the U.S. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like that's only in Ontario. The delivery's only in Ontario. Same here in Finland. Government monopoly. It's so weird, isn't it? The LCB is a good thing overall. Curbs underage purchases. I don't buy that, Mark Lapointe. I started drinking when I was 14 years old, like an idiot, and I never had any problems. Although, admittedly, I did get started in Europe. I don't know if it's per state, but in New York there are lots of alcohol delivery services. Yeah, there used to be here before there was any delivery services. There were alcohol delivery, and it was all entirely illegal. They would go to the store and buy them for you. They'd do a huge markup, and they'd sell you cigarettes and all that kind of stuff. Anything, all that stuff. All we had to do was ask my dad for beer. It exists in Sweden as well as Babylonia 51. What? Oh, it exists in Sweden as well. I was like, where's Babylonia 51? I want to live there.
Yeah.
That's actually a name. Never mind. I feel Canada and Finland are very alike in many ways. Some ways, yeah, some stuff. Definitely a bit of
Except for good-looking people.
Except, shut up!
I'm sorry.
Us Canadians are fantastic-looking people. Whoa, man, you're going to have Canada mad at you. Canada's going to be mad. You don't want Canada mad at you.
Oh,
what do you want
all of
mad
Canada.
at you for? All right. Fine, folks. I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I got a friend coming.
Okay.
I got a friend coming for dinner, and it's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about movies, and he's gonna try to make me write something, and I'm gonna say no. All right. So
make you write something?
Weird. I just get alcohol delivered with my groceries. Yeah, Cal. There you go. Cal gets her weird monk beer delivered, right? Anything we should be looking out for in technology? Anyone seen anything this week that they go, oh my gosh, we should talk about that? What do you got?
I got one. I think you should get this toy. It's mechanical electronics. And it just is an analogy. Mm-hmm. You make all these gears, and they act like a capacitor or whatever. They're really cool. If you go on Steve Mold YouTube, he just did a video on it.
Steam
and it's
Mold?
super neat. Oh, yeah.
Like MOLD?
Yeah. Yeah. Or MOULD.
Oh,
I can't remember.
Oh, not like mold, like not moldy. Steam Mold. Steam Mold.
No, Steve, as in
Steve
STEVE.
Mold. That makes more sense. I was like, well, that's weird. Okay, Steve Mold. Here we go. Steve Mold. You know who I've been watching a lot of? We make stuff here or stuff made here. You seen that? It's pretty great.
Okay.
Let me see if I can look them up. They've got some great stuff. Stuff made. I think it's stuff made here. Has anyone seen that?
Have you heard of the podcast? Well, there's your problem.
No.
Like they have one on why people get into trampling situations where they get trampled to death.
Oh God, did you
And,
hear
and
about
so
that in
they go through it.
Seoul?
Yeah, and so they analyze
150
things like that.
kids, 155 kids crushed because there were too many of them in an alley with a bunch of bars. That's freaking
Right.
crazy wrong. Should never happen.
Those should have been cut off. And there are rules about that, like in California. You have to have, places of certain width and depth, or there is no way to, you can't go to a dead end, that kind of stuff.
It always makes me feel like we're just another, and I think we are, is just another animal,
We are.
dumb animal form on this planet. Like where we are so lacking in our own, in the awareness of our surroundings that we get ourselves in these kind of, we allow these kind of things to happen. It's just bizarre.
I think we've got monkey or lizard brain with a thin shell of intelligence, like an M&M, but different. You can look this up, kids. Get ready for this. In real life, 500 people died from a fart.
What?
Because somebody farted. Just look it up.
No.
And
that
people
can't be
started
true.
to move away. It's true.
No.
It's absolutely true.
Wait a sec. People dying
look
from
at
a fart. Okay, I'm looking.
Like 500 people died from a fart. Not from the fart, but because they went to move away from the fart. And then it just became
Is this a Vice
like
thing?
cattle. What's that?
Wait a sec. Is this
It
like
was during like the Middle Ages.
Apparently farts can be toxic.
No, but it wasn't the fart that killed them. They got asphyxiated from getting pushed up against exits.
I feel that this is an episode unto itself. Is death by fart. Fart.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bring that
trampling.
up. Yeah.
How do you spell? Okay, how do you spell trampling? I'm getting it wrong. Trampling.
I don't know. I don't know how to spell it.
The fart that caused 10,000 deaths. Is this
10,000? I thought it was 500.
Is this the Roman soldiers' fart that led to 10,000 deaths? I find this hard to believe.
Something like that.
Could this be true?
Well, I saw a video that was like acknowledging what happened.
Apparently,
I think the 10,000 might be exaggeration.
Oh, let's see. It probably there's okay. Let's see. Farting, breaking wind, cutting the cheese, or gas. The English language has numerous words for flatulence, and this is even before we devolve into the subcategories that make up the genre. Is it a genre? Okay, let's see where it says here. Somewhat counterintuitive. The ancient fear of farting. No, here we go. No, I have to subscribe.
Subscribe.
Forget it. Nope. It's the Daily Beast. I don't know what the Daily Beast is. I'm not subscribed to that.
But
okay.
I'll send you the video. It's like a cooking channel that does history.
Okay.
Tasting history is what it's called.
Oh God, Tasting History has a whole thing about farting killing people. That sounds terrible. Okay, I remember fighting trampling that broke out with Cabbage Patch dolls back in the 80s. They were baseball dolls. I remember that. The Cabbage Patch dolls, remember those? Everyone wanted a Cabbage Patch doll.
Yep.
They're the ugliest dolls, too. Watcher652, thank you for your subscription. Thank you, everybody, by the way, for your subscriptions.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know if I've named everybody, and I apologize if I haven't. I mean to. I mean to be lovely to everybody, but it just doesn't happen.
I've said thank you every time I saw one. I don't know
if
you can see any.
Watcher652 has been subscribed for 25 months.
Wow.
That's got to be up there, isn't it?
It's like a record.
It's got to be.
I saw somebody before with 20 something.
Really? What's Cal at? 1?
Does she subscribe?
Does she subscribe?
She should be getting paid.
I know. I should be paying her, not having her subscribe to. People are weird. I don't know why people do stuff, especially.
Ooh, Ugly Pig Beast is at 32 months.
32 months? Really? Ugly? Seriously? Wow. And Cal is at .
I'm just going to call them Pig Beast. Drop the ugly.
What is Black Friday is coming? What does that mean? What is that? Is that good for Twitch or something?
The shopping after Thanksgiving?
No, but I mean, is that why Cal has been following David I. Hewlett for 3 years, 4 months, 6 days, 5 hours, 30 minutes, and 41 seconds?
Boy, I'll bet it felt like 3 years,
Cal.
5 months, and 6
I was
days.
gonna say that's got to feel like almost 3.5 months. Years.
Yeah.
I mean 3.5 years. Damn it, I got it wrong. Damn, I killed the joke. Night. Okay, here we go. Nightbot's telling everybody. Okay, Wolf must be following for 1 year, 11 months, 2 weeks, 3 days, 23 hours, 6 minutes, and 36 seconds. What happened, Wolf Pup? Where'd you drop the ball there? Like this, I feel like.
I think he changed his name or something at some point.
Ah, that'll do it. That's true. Ugly Beast has been following David Hill for 2 years, 9 months, 3 weeks, 6 hours, 14 minutes, and 36. Okay, now it's just turning into a battle. See, this is how people get trampled. Okay. Oh my God, now everyone's doing it. Black Friday tramplings, shootings, whatever, insanity. Is Black Friday like it's never been a big thing for me, Black Friday. Why is it called Black Friday?
It's when businesses are finally in the black. Like they're working in the red, or like retail. They're working at a loss, and then by Black Friday or sometime in November, they're actually all in their profit time. And then they supposedly do
they share the good. They share
really big sales, yeah.
No, I mean I know the sales stuff, but I've never understood where it came from. I didn't realize that was the case. Somebody just said something, and I was like, "Oh yeah, James Gurney." Just in case, James Gurney, in case he doesn't promote himself, has promoted himself using the bot again. Just we know, I feel that. Oh no, actually, Gimpy G, you've got one too, don't you? You've got your own bot response. I don't think. Do I have a bot response? If you type in,
I don't know.
What do you have to do? Exclamation or something? How does it work? How did
everybody go join me on Twitter and see what crazy stuff happens. It's Gimpy God.
It's just Gimpy God, right?
Let's see.
But what are you on Instagram?
Yep, that's it. I don't do Instagram. It's in landscape. No, what's the one? Portrait. And
Portrait.
Yeah, on my iPad, so I just never got on.
So there's a whole generation out there who isn't on anything other than Instagram.
Yeah, I should do that, huh?
Yeah. Well, we should all be on TikTok dancing around and singing songs, right? I'm sure that's exactly...
I was thinking about that.
Were you really?
I was thinking about having Trenton get behind me and pretend like my arms are his or his arms are mine and do like quick dumb stuff where he'll feed my forehead or something.
He's dancing for two, basically.
True.
I feel like, does anyone want to see us dance? I don't feel like they do.
I think anyone does.
What was that? Everyone does?
I don't think anyone does.
No, thank you, Vipop. As my PR coordinator, I think Vipop is probably right.
Right.
But is anyone here using TikTok? Is anyone here actually watching stuff on TikTok? Bag of Chips, you on TikTok?
Yeah.
But do you post on TikTok?
No.
What about Fluffy the Cat? Are you on TikTok? Or
Fluffy seems like a teetotaler.
Or Lord. No. Any social media at all, Fluffy the Cat?
What?
Are you on any social media at all, like Instagram or any of those things?
Snapchat.
Not yet. Because you got to be 13. Is it 13?
Oh, they said Snapchat.
Oh, Really?
Yeah.
I thought Snapchat was evil and you could do terrible things and it just deletes them or something.
It does automatically delete them.
Lord Chunky, what do you use?
For what?
Well, like social media. Are you on TikTok or any of that kind of stuff?
I use TikTok.
Jack uses the whole shebang.
I mostly just use TikTok.
But do you post on TikTok as well?
No, I don't post on TikTok.
Oh, okay. So no one's actually posting
anything. They're just consuming stuff.
Posted.
Ah, all right. What about and Vipup? You're not using any social media? It's easy.
See, Captain Catherine said, if you and I have a TikTok dance channel, she would subscribe. So there.
That's
and she
one
hates
person.
TikTok.
That's one person.
I find that Captain Catherine is pretty much a good, weather vane for society as a whole.
So?
Really,
Do you think it's a good indicator? Is that the
Captain
Catherine indicator?
Download TikTok.
What was that?
Can you convince my parent to let me download TikTok?
to let you use TikTok?
Download TikTok.
Download it.
I'm the worst person to ask, Fluffy the cat, because you know what? I'm so evil. I took TikTok away from my son.
Yeah, you're despicable.
Well,
Now he does so much better things, like watching YouTube Shorts.
I know. This is the problem. Is I don't even know where to. Here's the thing that got me, and I don't know whether it's even true or not. But I heard that there were multiple algorithms for TikTok, and that in China, the algorithm promoted learning and productivity and all the great things you can do, of course, for China. But also, be smart. That's cool. All that kind of stuff. Whereas the algorithm for the Western world, as they would call it, I guess, was just about just stupid stuff, like just how to waste as much of your time as possible. As a kind of
it depends on what you're looking for on the platform.
Like the algorithm will change based on.
It changes based off what you want. Like my stuff is reasonably.
I get a lot of
educational. It depends.
Actually, I get strange educational stuff too.
Like I get some tech stuff. I get some educational stuff. I get some.
What?
Like,
Give me.
I get a lot of history stuff and map stuff.
Oh, so you get history maps and war stuff.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you're saying I should let him back on?
Yes.
So I should let him back on again, but is there a way to make sure that, how do I stop him from going to, not him, how do I stop TikTok from pushing him towards not productive learning stuff?
It's just the time you spend on it.
I just I get history stuff is because I like history. So if he doesn't like history, then he won't get that.
If you don't like history, you don't get history. Unless he likes history stuff on the app. Whatever you like, it'll show you more of that.
Yeah.
Because all of the TikTok stuff is available on YouTube anyways, isn't it? I mean, you could go and look up, if you want to...
It's months old stuff.
I see. Okay. So why do you want to use TikTok, Fluffy the cat?
I like to watch Minecraft shorts and TikTok hacks.
Oh, the TikTok hacks, that's true. Those are kind of cool. I see them on YouTube as well. But okay, so... And your parents won't let you download it. What if they downloaded it? And
that's not true. That's not what I said.
What did you say? What's the rule?
I said, why do you want to download TikTok? Please explain to me why it's a good idea.
So, because he wants to watch Minecraft videos and he wants to watch productivity hacks. Is that right, Fluffy the cat?
That's not what he told me. What he told me was, please.
So more of the begging and less of the logic.
Right. I just said, please tell me why.
Me?
I feel
yes, that's what I asked. Please tell me why.
I feel like if I set up, let me run this by everybody and see what they think. What if I were to let Baz or even possibly Fluffy the cat, was allowed to use TikTok, but if it's a shared account, so we can all see what's going on, so we can make sure that it's not just getting too crazy. Because it's one of the other issues I have is how quickly people can be radicalized by something like TikTok or YouTube, for that matter, where the suggested reading, the number of times. Sorry,
I doubt that Baz is able to be radicalized at his current state.
You don't think so?
I really don't think so. No.
I think I don't know. It depends. Depends on what. You could be radicalized, but for really minor things.
Like what type of
your
anime
thoughts on a certain Overwatch character or something could be radicalized by TikTok.
Or a girl.
But I don't think it would sway his entire political beliefs or whatever.
But I just worry that there can be a subtle, just a subtle washing over of you of undermining things that are important or something. What if you start seeing stuff that that promotes more of some of this what about this male toxic masculinity stuff? He's definitely been sent a bunch of stuff about, what was that? Who's that loser, that MMA guy?
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
He got
sent.
You said toxic masculinity. Andrew Tate's the first.
But so that guy was in Baz's feed.
I think it was more ironic Andrew Tate stuff, people pretend make fun of them by pretending they like him.
Oh, really? So you think it was watched ironically?
Yes.
I watched Andrew Tate ironically. It was really funny to laugh at his stuff.
Now, what do you got?
But there were like
Fluffy Cat?
also plenty of people that like took what he said like seriously.
Yeah, like I've got like Andrew Tate fan pages appeared sometimes, and it's really funny seeing like the weird edits they made of him.
Well, I keep getting sent like Jordan Peterson or whatever.
Really weird stuff.
Oh,
Stuff. So
that guy
What was that,
annoys
Fluffy
me
the
so
cat?
bad.
I know sometimes it just pops up weird stuff. I'll come towards you.
So, I
missed it.
I missed it too. I just started. I got lots. Not on TikTok, but on YouTube. I'm constantly being sent stuff like I don't want to watch Joe Rogan. I'm sorry. I'm just not like I will listen to an episode or whatever, but it's not like I'm gonna. It's just not my demographic. I don't want to have people talk about. It's just too.
David
weird for me.
just wants old time remedies for sore joints. Those are the videos he wants. I
love the productivity hacks. Like Fluffy the cat was talking about like hacks, like life hack stuff. I love that stuff. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
I use that stuff all the time. Like it's like anything that's not too complicated, doesn't take too much time. Oh, speaking of time, I gotta go. Oh my God, it's 6 o'clock. Holy. All right, everybody.
Oh, no, go.
Be safe, be kind, be brilliant. Until we geek again, I will say cheerio and huzzah! And thank you, Tech Bandits, for all coming in and chatting today.
Guys. It was nice having you here.
Everyone go check out Gippy G.
First Tech Bandits film to join in a while.
I know it's been forever.
Because like there wasn't a bunch for a whole little while. And there was one, but I couldn't join it because I also I work on Tuesdays now, so.
How's that going, by the way?
Today, good. I mean, I don't know.
You making some good coin?
Yeah, some good coin.
Yeah.
But
are you saving?
Yeah, I'm saving. I haven't spent much.
That's well good. That's good.
So I'm gonna get a new computer soon.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are you going for?
New computer. Probably the new AMD GPUs. So it's gonna be like
what?
So RDNA 3 stuff.
Yeah, I like that too.
800 XT.
Okay,
why
800.
Why AMD?
Yeah, 79. Whatever I'm able to afford in that. Because who knows? They might mark them up to be like, I don't know.
Why those?
Like
more. Why those?
Why those?
Yeah.
Well, because right now AMD's like a better pick over Nvidia value wise.
Huh?
Because like a 6900 XT, which is similar to a 3090 in gaming, is only about like $700 US.
As opposed to the Nvidias, which are like over $1,000,
1,000
aren't they? Yeah,
or more. Yeah. So you save $300 and you get the same gaming performance, which I think is pretty cool.
But doesn't it?
Do they have ray tracing?
I was gonna say, what about ray tracing?
Yes, they do, but it's not quite as good. So if you have ray tracing on, you might get like less FPS than you would with an Nvidia card.
Another
but
thing,
considering like how much I use ray tracing now,
yeah, it's not like you turn on. It's not like you turn on.
I barely ever use ray tracing, and if I do, it's in like a story game. I don't.
I was gonna say not while you're gaming.
How many FPS I'm getting?
Yeah, that's so true because it's not while you're gaming, right? While you're gaming, it's like it's gonna slow things down anyways. No one wants to.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. I've still got
NVIDIA encodes on chip though, not in software, so that's good. Like video encoding.
Yeah, the encoding on AMD is fine. Like it's nothing to write home about, but it's good enough if I ever want to.
But you don't stream anyway, though, right?
I don't stream anyway, so it's not important to me. Like also, the best way to do encoding is if you have an NVIDIA GPU or an Intel CPU with an iGPU. You can use the integrated graphics to encode. It's called QuickSync.
Right.
So
that's right.
That's the best way to do encoding with the least impact on your performance.
If you've got them both on the AMD.
You're a genius, man.
That's interesting. Yeah, there's all sorts of tricks that would be available if you're using the same chip makers. I imagine that is very cool. I was always surprised that Intel didn't pick up on that. You know what I mean? Why didn't Intel start designing all of their chip like them to work together? Like just buy all AMD chips. I mean, just buy all Nvidia chips. Just buy all Intel chips. It would
just like no one company has like. I think there's like certain things that are like really essential for CPU to run, like certain like. I'm not sure what the word would be, like certain codecs and stuff. And I think like Intel and AMD each have like let's say half the patents on the things that are necessary to like use an x86 CPU, which is the architecture they're built on. x86.
Is that that's the basic architecture? That's like
that's the basic one, yeah. Like versus ARM, which is x64.
Right.
Slightly different. So like, there's these things you need, and like each of them have half these patents. So they have an agreement. So basically, they're the only two people that can make those kinds of chips, and neither one can completely replace the other.
Huh, that's interesting. And then what about what happens then when Apple Silicon shows up like that?
Well, Apple Silicon's like an M or ARM based.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's why like Nvidia getting ARM could be very anti-competitive because they could cut off
very bad.
Apple, so they can't compete with them. Because like Apple's making stuff that's competing with Nvidia GPUs, and
I see.
Nvidia could just do some very anti-competitive things with ARM.
Because I got to tell you, I've been doing I did a little bit of video editing on my M2 13-inch MacBook, and I'm in love. Like now what slows things down is when you have something on a hard drive, when you've got something that's 8K on a hard drive and you're trying to transcode it, that takes forever. But if it's on the
hard drive,
on the
yeah, but that's
itself,
just like
it's amazing, absolutely amazing.
That's
Why
the
do you
hard
have a
drive's
hard
issue.
drive? Or do you mean
Well, because these files are huge, right? To get an SSD that size would be just ridiculous. All right, I must run. All
right.
James R. Gurney
bye.
likes his Mac. Is it as long as it survives the flood? All right, come flood, come fire. Hoping to be back. Well, at the very least, we'll see you next Tuesday. But I
Next
think we'll be
Tuesday.
talking.
I don't think we'll be able to join for too long next Tuesday. Maybe like 20 minutes before I have to go for work.
Oh, really? Well,
that'd be great.
I might try to mix up the schedule a bit too. I'm beginning to think maybe Monday makes more sense for me, but we'll see.
Yeah, Monday works.
All right, is Monday better?
For me at least, yeah.
I might look into Monday because Monday, for some reason, Monday I often find myself at loose ends, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll stream today, and then it's like, no, things to do. Whereas Tuesday, I feel like it always becomes over. I was supposed to talk to Joe, our C producer today, but I was like, you know what? I just haven't had time to do any preamble work. So, all right, I'm babbling.
All right, well you should go. I don't want to keep you any longer because like
No, and you won't, damn you.
Yeah, get out of here.
All right,
yeah,
get out of here,
go,
everyone.
Go,
Have fun.
scram, skedaddle.
Go on, I'm out of here. Go on, we don't love you anymore.
All right, leave,
Go on.
leave.
I'm
Leave the
gonna
call.
end the stream now. Bye.